the stadium and then just kind of get out, get free swing, get feeling good?
Yeah, it was great. We appreciate UTA for letting us jump on the field, but we can just go slow, go through a traditional dynamic warm-up, catch play, batting practice. We have room to hit in the cages. We got our bunt work in, so just trying to keep it as routine as we possibly can. During the tournament, you got so many games running through there. The home team has one batting cage and nowhere really to stretch. So to try to get 14 guys through a batting cage and prepared to really play your best baseball stuff.
Team looks like they're having fun, feeling good. Turning the page to the postseason is probably pretty exciting.
Yeah, I think they're fired up. A lot of guys hadn't been in this situation before. We have a lot of new guys on this team, so getting to watch them step on foot on Globe Life and see what that's all about is really exciting. And the tournaments are just always awesome. It's do or die, high level competition with great teams.
You had 9 guys earn all conference honors. They're pretty impressive, especially like you think of the Griffin Kearns, the Logan Saves, one guy who's been here for 1 year and the other guy who's been here since a freshman. So good honors for the Mountaineers. What stuck out to you about the guys who earned those?
Just a lot. There's 4 Power 4 conferences. And for 9 of our players to be the best of the best in one of the best leagues in the nation just says a lot about the program and the players and the guys that are choosing to be here and the development that's taking place over the course of their career.
You guys have had the target on your back, obviously, the entire season as the outright champions in the Big 12, and I'm sure Cincinnati will turn that up even to 11 because you guys swept them at home. So expecting their best punch. How are they playing baseball recently?
Yeah, they're playing great baseball. They've been consistent all year. They've been a really, really good team that have traded blows with a lot of opponents in the league. They're high energy. They bunt. They play small ball. They run the bases really well. They lead our league in stolen bases and sacrifice bunts. They take pride in throwing strikes and playing baseball the right way, and so it's always high energy, high intensity. We got them 3 times at home, so we got to go get them a 4th today.
What's the key to this one when it comes to pitching, right? Because I know you've got more postseason baseball after the Big 12 tournament, but it's how you frame things up and how you stack things up. So who's pitching and how do you get to that decision?
There was a lot that went into who's pitching this week. We had a few changes going into it. The bottom line is that there's one objective, and that's to win the tournament for us. And so you can play to win 1 game or you can play to win 2 games, but really the reality is if you don't win the tournament, you're the loser of the tournament. So there's 14 teams in this league. There's 12 that make the tournament and only 1 champion. So it doesn't do any good to play for second. So there is some strategy that goes into it. We're starting Kern because he's on a full week rest. So that has to do with matchup as well. Cincinnati against left-handed pitching. A lot of other factors go into it, but Kern's the best matchup today. And then you have to be smart as far as your bullpen and relief. Gavin Van Kempen is out. He's been a traditional starter for us and the 3rd starter. And so we have to invent a new starter if we make it to a championship game this week. So we'll decide if we're going to do that in game 2 or game 3, depending on Jack Kartsonis and how he feels. So it's about maximizing your guy, but also winning 3 games.
And offensively for you guys, I mean, like Jace and Sam combined for 1 hit in the Kansas series. Every team goes through that at some point, right? Everybody has bad offensive weekends. Don't got to reinvent the wheel if it's not been broken for 99% of the season, right? So offensively, you doing the same thing?
Yep, very, very similar. We always have a few changes in there depending on matchups. But, yeah, you stick with your dudes that got you here. So you got Skylar King in the 1 hole and Weston the 2. And you have Reinhardt 3, Whitey 4, and then Save 5 with Barnett, Hussey, Kelly, and Kresser kind of finishing out the 6 through 9 spots. And so we love those guys. They've been really good for us all year. I think a week off and being able to reset and get themselves in a good spot. I'm excited to see how they respond in this atmosphere today.
Coach, appreciate it. Go get them.
Yep, thanks, Andrew.
Coke Zero Sugar. Could I be the best Coke ever? Try and taste with your ears. Hear those bubbles? Imagine them tingling on your tongue. Fizzy deliciousness. Listen to that cascading liquid. A mouth-watering waterfall. Irresistibly tasty. Zero sugar. Crisp, refreshing, and ice cold. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Try and decide.
At United Bank, banking means more than financial solutions. It means rallying around the causes that are important to our customers, employees, and communities. While we have grown in size and presence, we have never forgotten our roots. By giving back to our local communities and funding business development, we help fuel economic growth. Our success is your success, because to us, this is home. United Bank, West Virginia's bank, proud to be united with the Mountaineers. Member FDIC.
You're listening to West Virginia Baseball, presented by Bowling Insurance Services on MSN, the Mountaineers Sports Network.
You said you'd never buy your kid candy from the checkout aisle, or forget extra diapers. You'd never lick your thumb to clean their face. Never, ever become a minivan mom. So when you say you'd never leave your child in a hot car, no, it can happen. Cars get hot fast, and kids can be at risk in temperatures as low as 60 degrees Fahrenheit. Never happens. Before you leave the car, always stop, look, lock. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
August was born 3 pounds, 9.8 ounces. When I first saw him, it was a whole range of emotions. There's stuff I still want to do. Being a young dad, it's not giving up. It's shifting. I looked through his eyes. I can envision a whole future with him already. To throw the first football to him, give him ice cream for the first time. My life is now devoted to his life.
Through all of fatherhood's firsts, never stop being a dad. Visit fatherhood.gov to hear more. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
The first pitch is almost here. You're listening to Mountaineer Baseball at the Big 12 Baseball Championship, presented by Bowling Insurance Services, West Virginia's insurance agent.
Hussey swings into the air, right field, going back. This one is way gone. He obliterated that baseball. The West Virginia Mountaineers are Big 12 champions.
Let's head back to Globe Life Field in Arlington. Alongside Jake Weghorst, here's Andrew Caridi.
All right, still about 20 minutes from first pitch here from Arlington at the Big 12 tournament. It is the 1-seed West Virginia against the 8-seed Cincinnati Bearcats. Andrew Caridi and Jake Weghorst with you. Wegs, I know you wanted to touch on this pitching matchup real quick because it's kind of an interesting one. West Virginia throwing their ace and Cincinnati throwing Carson Marsh, who's kind of a utility guy. This will be his 23rd appearance and 8th start.
Well, both teams have seen both pitchers. Kern, against these guys, went up against Taylor in Game 1 of the series in Morgantown on that Thursday, and he went 5 2/3. Gave up 2 runs, 5 hits, only walked 1, had 6 strikeouts, got 91 pitches, really deep in the count. So with Kern facing a lineup, 8 out of the 9 guys are right-handed. He's going to have to hit those change-ups for strikes, run it off the plate, utilize that inside fastball because this team will put it in play. They like to swing. Yep. And on the other hand, Marsh for Cincinnati, he was the Game 3 starter, looked really good for 3 innings, and that 4th inning, it got really ugly. And as soon as he came out of the game, they went through 3-4 other pitchers, and it went downhill from there. So it's a really interesting matchup. You got to feel good with Kern on the hill for WVU, but it's going to need to get ahead early and work both sides of the plate today.
Griffin threw 127 pitches in the game against Kansas back on Thursday. That was his best start. He went 8 innings for the Mountaineers, only gave up 2 runs, striking out 10. And this was a series that West Virginia swept in the regular season. However, it wasn't easy. West Virginia won 3-2 in the opener, 6-4 in Game 2, and then 10-5 in the series finale. So those are really close games within 2 runs, 2 out of 3. So definitely factor that into the equation, and the fact that West Virginia is not playing at Kendrick Family Ballpark in Cincinnati probably favor them when it comes to momentum coming into this series as well. Notable for Cincinnati, they do not have the services of Landon Vitorek, who's one of the best base stealers in the league this year. 6'1 junior from Hamilton, Ohio, injured himself after he was hit by a pitch against Kansas State in the last series of the season, and has not played since May 15th. So he's been out for a week and is not in the lineup today. Vitorek is definitely an interesting case because you look at what he's done on the base paths this season. He's got 37 steals.
37 steals and had a lot of pop. That's definitely a player that Cincinnati wishes they had today. But, especially in postseason, you get towards the end of the year, you have to deal with injuries and and different things, as WVU has. We've seen that the past few years. So you got to play with what you got, and we're going to have a good baseball game today.
You mentioned a lot of pop. He's also had 14 home runs for the Bearcats this season. So notable missing man for Cincinnati, and it's a team that likes to play small ball, like to move around the base runners via bunts and everything like that. So definitely going to be interesting to see how this one goes. Again, first pitch scheduled for 1:52 here on MSN. We'll step aside and we'll play you our interview with West Virginia senior slugger Kyle West, who's on a 9-game hitting streak for the Mountaineers. We caught up with him before the Kansas series last weekend to get his story on coming to West Virginia and more. So we'll turn that over to our interview with Kyle West and Steve Sabins, our Olympic Sports Coaches Show, before we get first pitch in about 20 minutes on MSN. Hard to believe only 2 segments left on the season for our Olympic Sports Coaches Show, and it's not just Coach Sabins with us here as we get ready for KU. It'll be Kyle West, the senior slugger from Hedgesville. Give it up for Kyle West. He hits baseballs really hard.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Absolute grown man energy. Hey, we have solved the great cake caper.
So we were sitting at the table and I said, do you think that Joey told him it's Save's birthday? So I said that to Lumsden, and Lumsden is the one that brought it to the staff's attention, and a cake was brought out to him.
So Lumsden was in the middle of that. That doesn't surprise me.
No,
Lumsden's never afraid.
Yeah.
He's willing to mix it up a little bit.
You talk about guys that are kind of out there. Ben Lumsden, Spencer Barnett was like quiet in his freshman year. He's come out of his shell, and he's a little unhinged. But in a fun way. I like that. I can kind of relate to that. Kyle, if you want to do me a favor and bring that up a little bit. There we go. Is it too loud in your head? Is it?
That's good.
That's good? Okay, cool. I didn't want to blow your ears out. Well, let's start. We'll get to the details in a little bit. You obviously had a phenomenal underclassman career at the University of Charleston. You transfer to West Virginia, so you go from D2 to D1. How did you get to UC? Because there are a lot of options to play baseball in the Eastern Panhandle where you're from. And then obviously, how did you go from West Virginia? So if you could just kind of illustrate that a little bit.
So UC was my only offer out of high school.
Really?
Yeah.
Shepherd didn't offer you?
No Shepherd, no Potomac State, no Frostburg, nothing from that area. We're surrounded by a bunch of PSAC schools, so Charleston being my only offer out of high school, I didn't really have a choice. So I loved everything that place was about, loved their coach. Coach Robbie Britt gave me a chance when no one else wanted to. That's pretty much sums up Charleston. It was a dear place in my heart. I had a great sophomore year, so going into summer ball, I played in the Northwoods League, and I found myself as a Division II player surrounded by a bunch of Power 5 hitters, and I was hitting second in the lineup. So I did a little self-reflection and talked to my parents, talked to our head coach at Charleston, and they were all on board for me trying to jump to Division I.
Well, that's phenomenal. Were you obviously discouraged, I would imagine, coming out of high school, right? Thinking you had all the talent in the world, but you only got one sniff.
I actually didn't have all the talent in the world. I was super undersized. I was a defensive shortstop, actually, in high school.
I watched Kyle play when he was a junior in high school. He was playing at a camp or a tournament at our field, and he was a good defensive shortstop. Left-handed hitting shortstop, you're always looking for players that can play in the middle of the diamond that hit left-handed. And so later on, when the name popped up in the portal and I started watching him, I'm like, I watched this guy in high school, and I remember trying to convince you to come to a camp at some point later on in your career, and I was like, this is not the same guy. This is not the same looking cat that I saw junior year of high school.
You hit 30 home runs in 100 games in when you were at Charleston, right? So when did that size come along? Because you're listed at 6'4", 195. That's not undersized.
I'm actually 215.
I was going to say.
The weight's a little buffed.
Good.
But, no, I'm not sure. Charleston, I didn't hit my first collegiate home run until the back end of that season.
Wow.
And then I ended up hitting 8 within a matter of 4 weeks towards the end of that season. So I think hurting my shoulder when I did my freshman year was a little bit of a blessing in disguise. Looking back, I was able to refine everything about my physique. Like, I took advantage of my time that I couldn't train upper body or even play baseball, because at that point I was a baseball player, not like a true athlete. So being able to take that time and make myself a better athlete and a better player really flourished my sophomore year.
Okay, well then when did you get this freakish power, right? Because you look at the top exit velocities after every series, it's like Kyle West 113, Kyle West 111. Like, that's natural power, but you worked for it. So how did that get there?
It just showed up overnight, honestly. I don't know, maybe a little bit of length. I'm a super long player. Length, sequencing in my swing, and just maturity.
Do we have the interior information on that when you're looking at his stuff? Like,
well, the reality is that Kyle West is the hardest working guy on our team. So when you have a good player that's starting to hit home runs at Charleston and he hit 30, and he goes into the portal, he's from West Virginia, and he's humble and hardworking and wants to be great and grew up a Mountaineer. When you give him the resources and you say, here's our strength coach, like a actual strength coach that's certified and has some of the best information in the country. Here's a weight room, drink protein shakes, here's smoothies before games, go to breakfast every day, it's mandatory, here's post-game meals, I want you to have 200 grams of protein every day, and you tell Kyle what he needs to do. He just says yes, and he does it. There is no questioning. There is no, well, we didn't do this, or this doesn't taste good, or I don't know if I should do this. He just knocks it out. So if you give him a task, he knocks it out. So when you knock it out for 2 straight years, and you're 6'4" and naturally strong, and you outwork everybody, well, then you end up hitting balls 115 every game.
That's awesome. The biggest jump from this year, from last year, has obviously been this switch of strikeouts and walks, right? Your on-base percentage is almost 50. Your strikeouts are way down. Mentally, like, what has changed about that? Was it just getting more reps, getting more ABs to kind of get comfortable with things, or did you change your plate approach that much?
A little bit of both. Talking to Jed Jerko, he was sort of a similar guy. He liked the ball away from him, and I like the ball away from me. I have long arms. I would sort of look out over the plate, and I would fish for stuff. I would feel a lot for pitches that are breaking away from me. So it was more of just a sight adjustment to try and see the ball, not necessarily like see it, the ball coming at me, but see it closer to me, because guys with arm side run or guys that like to throw change-ups away, if I see it closer to me, the pitch that looks far away is going to be even farther away. So in my exit meeting this past fall, I looked at my stats last year, and I hit 250 against right-handed pitching and 310 against left-handed pitching. It's kind of similar approach in the essence of, against a lefty, I always wanted to see the ball closer to me, and I would hardly swing it stuff away. So in my exit meeting, it had a little quotations, does my left-handed approach differ from my right-handed approach, and a lot of self-evaluation, and it turned out it did. Like, I was trying to crush everything I right-handed through because I knew I could, instead of trying to see the ball closer to me and swing at pitches I know for a fact I can handle.
Encouraging. So when did you know he was starting to get the feel for it, Coach? Like, getting better? Fall ball? Early?
Yeah, starting this fall, absolutely. And then over the course, really, of this spring, Jace Reinhart wasn't in our starting lineup every day. Kyle West wasn't in our starting lineup every day. Those guys were really, they're the most important pieces of our team offensively, and to start this season, they weren't even in the lineup every day. So it just shows, like, their mentality, attitude was a focus on getting better, but then they were able to perform when they needed to earn more time and basically cement permanent roles. I think when people think of Kyle West, they're like just one of the best hitters in the country that locks down the middle of the order for the Mountaineers. But the reality is that he wasn't a consistent offensive player before this spring. And so literally the jump that he's made has been probably the most important for our team offensively.
Absolutely.
And you start noticing it really when, for me, the biggest thing was when I started seeing some of those walk numbers and the on-base percentage, because obviously the guy can hit for power. He has legitimate power. and can hurt you with any swing. But when you start seeing, well, he's not swinging at bad pitches. Well, people that can hit the ball harder than anybody that don't swing at bad pitches, that's a hell of a formula.
Yeah, it's really interesting. All right, when we come back, our final segment, I want to talk Kyle's experience as a West Virginia Mountaineer. Obviously, the Big 12 tournament coming up a little bit around the corner of the postseason. So our final segment with Coach Sabins and Kyle when we come back on MSN.
Store near you now, there will be soon. You hear us say that a lot, but it's true. Wherever you may go, chances are you'll find a Parmar store there, offering everything you need to get you in and then back on the road as soon as possible. From gas to groceries and snacks and items for your house, we have it at Parmar stores. Download the app and sign up for the Parmar Rewards Card too. West Virginia, Kentucky, Ohio, Maryland, Pennsylvania, and Virginia. If there's not a Parmar store near you now, there will be soon.
From foul pole to foul pole, listen to the first weekend of the NCAA Division I Baseball Championship with the Regional Rundown Show. If you've ever wished for a radio version of NFL Red Zone but for college baseball, then allow us to put it on a tee for you.
Live on the Varsity Network app. Join our crew starting Friday, May 30th as we go game to game across the 16 regional sites. We'll have the live hometown radio call, highlights, scores, and reactions.
Dive head first into the Regional Rundown beginning Friday, May 30th, exclusively on the Varsity Network app.
You're listening to West Virginia University Baseball on MSN, the Mountaineers Sports Network. Now let's go back to the ballpark and Andrew Caridi. Stay brewing in Morgantown. You're listening to the WVU Olympic Sports Coaches Show. Once again, here's Andrew Caridi.
All right, last segment here from Mountain State Brewing Company on our Olympic Sports Coaches Show. Steve Sabins, Kyle West with us. I've enjoyed your company, fellers, and we'll be seeing a whole lot more of one another, I guess, as time goes on here. So you got Kansas this weekend, you got the Big 12 tournament coming around, and, of course, the postseason following those things. Mr. West, your experience as a West Virginia Mountaineer, because you recently learned, rather, that I was an honorary Martinsburg Bulldog and honorary Shepherd Ram. So I lived there for 3 years. Kyle's from there. And, yeah, you're from West Virginia, right? But not the same way that Jace Reinhardt is, from North Marion, or Ben McDougall's from Bridgeport. The Eastern Panhandle is its own thing. So your exposure to WVU before you got here, what was, that feel?
Not much, where I'm the only West Virginia born in my family. Everybody else is from Maryland, so a lot of Terrapins.
Okay. So how did you get stuck in Hedgesville then?
My dad's parents moved when he was young, along with my mom's parents. They didn't know each other until they both came to West Virginia. Okay. They just so happened to meet up in high school, but once they came to West Virginia, they had. Obviously, I'm here. So blank slate, though. So when you came here, some people in Hedgesville, they know about it. They're Mountaineer fans there, but unless you have a true exposure to maybe friends or family who take you to a football game or take you to go tailgating or stuff like that, pretty absent. So was your first time here and had no previous idea about it? No, I got a bunch of diehard Mountaineer fans at home, and then just me. They would always go everywhere, and they just knew not to invite me because I was a Terrapin fan. So
we beat Maryland.
I know you beat Maryland a couple of years ago. Okay.
Recruiting deal. It was not easy. He was definitely considering Maryland out of the portal.
I had no idea about that. Wow, tough choice then.
It wasn't that tough.
Okay,
it was pretty easy decision.
All right, so what was the deciding factor that made it easy?
Culture, the place, coaches, all of these people in here with us right now, fans. It's pretty rare to play at a place where you're loved this much. You have other schools that have handfuls of Division I schools where anybody can go watch there's hundreds all over the country and a ton on the East Coast.
Yeah.
There's just this one here. So it's there's a ton of support and just something you don't get everywhere.
That's the coolest thing ever is the guy who was born in West Virginia had absolutely zero clue about it and kind of learns as a true non-exposed. That's that never happens. Kind of. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Because even the nice guy, other good players coming out. Tyson Bajan, who's with the Bears right now, who played at Martinsburg, really wanted to go to West Virginia. Didn't get the offer, for example. Gerard Bowie's going to play football here at WVU, who's at Martinsburg. So you're truly one of a kind, and that's pretty cool. And I'm glad you've been able to finally absorb what it means, because that's why everybody still comes out. That's why you guys are going to get like 4,000, 5,000 people to the park this weekend. Like, really unique in that regard.
Yeah.
So
I wouldn't trade it for a thing. Like, I love being here. I love everything about it. It's truly incredible.
Coach, you know how it is, though, because you've been here for 10 years, so you kind of get it.
I know how it is.
So, all right, that was our Olympic Sports Coaches Show with Steve Sabins and Mountaineers senior Kyle West, as the Mountaineers are on the turf and surface here at Globe Life Field in Arlington. Griffin Kern on the bump, ready to go for the Mountaineers. West Virginia's starting lineup and defensive alignment looks like this. At third base, Spencer Barnett. Shortstop, Brody Kresser. Second base, Gavin Kelly. First base, Grant Hussey. Logan Save behind the dish. In the outfield, from left to right, West, King, Reinhardt, with Griffin Kern on the bump. Here's the starting lineup for Cincinnati. Carrington Cross, the Big 12 Player of the Year, is batting .405. He'll lead off. Batting second, Jack Natilli, the catcher. Batting third, Quentin Coates at first base. Batting fourth, Cal Sefcik in left field. Batting fifth, Christian Mitchell, the second baseman. Sixth is Derek Pitts, the center fielder. Loudon Brooks, seventh, the shortstop. Eighth, Tommy O'Connor, the DH. And ninth, Donovan Ford, the right fielder for the Bearcats. Cross, Natilli, Coates, Sefcik, Mitchell, Pitts, Brooks, O'Connor, and Ford, as we're ready to get going here. No better way to turn the page, Wags, than a change of scenery and new meaning of baseball, because it's the postseason.
Well, change of scenery, and also, we were able to fly down to the Big 12 tournament versus being somewhere in Texas for a week, and then you stay here to play the Big 12 tournament. So I think you almost have a different feel this year than the past couple of years.
Yeah.
You're the number one seed. I mean, everybody we've talked to said, "Oh, you're the guys to beat." And I'm just like, have you seen the last 10 games? But I think the change of scenery, turn of the page is really going to help the Mountaineers, and going to need a quick start and a good start by Kern here.
It's an inevitability, I think, to a degree, that teams slow down towards the end of the year. Very true when it comes to West Virginia with as much travel as they do. When they have road weekends, and this isn't even including road midweeks that West Virginia is often going to, but you spend an entire Thursday traveling. You wake up at 7 in the morning, you get to the hotel usually around 5, then you go practice, then you get it back, and you're doing that from February until now. It's kind of inevitable that you are going to have a clunker. And some teams that don't have to travel nearly as much as West Virginia do as well. Kansas was swept against this Cincinnati team at home.
Slugfest.
Yeah.
Down there.
My point is it just happens, right? But you're hoping the West Virginia offense can kind of wake back up a little bit. They were shut out twice in that series against Kansas, and you've lost 6 of 7. But when you play 56, 60 games in a year,
sure,
that tends to happen. So stepping in is Carrington Cross. He'll lead things off. And our first pitch from Kern is outside for a ball. They had to make an assumption here in the time and temperature since we were inside here at Globe Life Field. I'm going to say a cool 70 degrees, 1:52 Eastern Time as we get our first pitch. Time and temp brought to us by Parmar Stores. Next pitch to Cross. He'll swing and miss, and the count is now even at 1 ball and 1 strike. And Carrington Cross earning Player of the Year honors, truly because of his offensive output, and that's it. 1 ball and 1 strike from Kern. He'll deliver. And Cross swings and fouls it off right side. Count will move to 1-2.
And not only does Cross have 79 hits, and he's hitting .405, he's walked 44 times, hit by pitch 11. Knows how to get on base.
Yeah, several categories he leads or ranks among the top. Batting average, OBP, slugging percentage, 1-2 pitches outside, 2-2. Third in hits, third in runs scored, third in walks. So that is a complete, comprehensive, impressive resume for him. And no one really else stood out. You do that and you hit 400, you're in good shape. 2 balls, 2 strikes from Kern. Next pitch. And that is just outside for a ball, 3-2. Griffin went 8 innings, gave up 7 hits, only 2 runs, walked 3, and struck out 10 in his last home start in a regular season Mountaineer fashion. Payoff pitch coming across on the way, and Cross takes ball 4 outside. And Carrington Cross will get on base as he draws walk number 45 on the year.
I think you need to learn from that. A really big ballpark. As a pitcher, can't be afraid of contact. Go right ahead. There's a lot of green out there, and very good center fielder and Skylar Keene that can cover a lot of ground.
Jack Natili will bat second for the Bearcats. Catcher is a sophomore batting .326 this year. This will be his 47th start. Runner on first, nobody out for the Bearcats in the top of the first. Pickoff move over to first base. Cincinnati ended the regular season taking 2 of 3 from K-State. They did that in Cincinnati. 7-4 win, 7-0 win, and then a 9-5 loss on Senior Day, still taking 2 of 3. Here's the pitch. That is poked foul. Ends up in the deck near us as we are high atop Globe Life Field in Arlington. Happy to have Joe Mock with us, next to us. Got him in. Got him a free parking pass, and he's going to take the game in from our broadcast position. We've got all available announcers here in Arlington, actually, with Matt Wells also standing by. Next pitch outside to Natili, 1-1. Natili's second best batting average on the team from Benicia, Pennsylvania. Went 1 for 4 yesterday in that win against Texas Tech. Cincinnati had to grind to get it done. Next pitch. Ground ball down the third base line and rolling to the wall. It's going to be picked up by Kyle West. He's got it. They're going to send Carrington Cross home. He's going to score, and it's an RBI double with nobody out for Natili. 1-0 Cincinnati on a ground ball hit well enough down the third base line just to sneak fair for a Bearcat lead.
Natili's been on a tear in the past handful of weeks, elevating himself to that 2 spot, just snuck down the line. I think Barnett playing a little bit off the line. That's a good low pitch. Went down and got it, and West Virginia finds itself in a hole early.
A tough break for Griffin Kern. I mean, just tucking it in inside just enough. And Spencer Barnett, who's got that glove on his left hand, could not reach across his body to make the play. Here's Quentin Coates. Bearcats leading 1-0 as a first pitch is sorted and missed for a strike. So the RBI goes to Natili. Cross is able to score. And Natili picks up his 49th RBI of the year. Next pitch. That'll hit for a strike. 0-2 quickly to Quentin Coates, the freshman utility player. Natili's also picked up his 13th double on the year. 1-0 Bearcats. Nobody out still. 0-2. Swung on and missed, and Kern strikes him out. Able to get the first out here in the first. But it's exactly the way that Cincinnati drew it up. You lead off with Cross. He draws a walk. Natili hits the double. Your 2 best hitters are able to get you up 1-0.
It's a little bit different lineup without Viderek up there at the top. They're still able to get that run across first in the top.
All right, 1 out. Sefcik at the plate now for the Bearcats. First pitch to him is outside from Kern. 1-0. Sefcik is batting .301 on the year. 8 doubles, 7 home runs. He's hit 59 times. 3rd most hits on the team. Cincinnati scoring 4 runs in the first 3 innings against Texas Tech yesterday. So they are moving here. 1-0 pitch, lifted out to right, and that is drifting foul, and it's going to be caught by Reinhardt out in right field up against the wall for a second out. Runner's going to tag up from second to third, Natili, but a big out picked up by Reinhardt. As he disappeared, he caught that ball right at the wall and almost fell into the protective screen that is underneath. We couldn't see him.
No, that's a heck of a catch. Reinhardt actually took a little bit of a blow there on the wall. That's a big second out. What a play. There's not a lot of foul ground all the way down both lines.
All right, runner on third. Here is Christian Mitchell. First pitch, Mitchell swings and misses. 0-1. Bearcats leading 1-0 on the RBI double from Natili. They've got a runner on third. Base hit here from the .247 hitting Christian Mitchell, right-handed bat. Would score another run for the Bearcats. Next pitch, 0-1 is outside, 1-1. You hate having to play from behind if you're West Virginia. Not exactly what you needed here as you're trying to turn the corner for the postseason. 1-1. Mitchell fouls it off. Count will move to 1-2. Mitchell did not do anything against the Mountaineers. Went 0 for 11 in the series, but has 3 hits in his last 7 at-bats across 2 games. Did not play against Texas Tech yesterday. 2 strikes, the 1-2. Let it go outside for a ball, 2-2. Count is now even with 2 outs.
Kern's really working the outside part of the plate this first inning. Had to come inside too much. Going to need to run that fastball in on the hands.
All right, 2-2 from Kern. Swung on and missed. Kern strikes him out. Bearcats do draw first blood, though. Cross leads off with a walk. He's driven in by Natili. Double to make it 1-0. But Kern strikes out Coates, flies out Sefcik, and strikes out Mitchell. It's 1-0 Bearcats as we'll head to the bottom of the first. West Virginia will hit when we come back. You're listening to West Virginia Baseball at the Big 12 Tournament from Arlington on MSN.
You took the first step and quit smoking, but even former smokers may still be at risk for lung cancer. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know about a new low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early. It takes only 60 seconds and could save your life. You took the first step, now take the next. Visit SaveByTheScan.org for a simple quiz to see if you're eligible and talk to your doctor about screening. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
Uh-oh, Brad's buzzed.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he's starting with the woots. And now a speech.
I just want to say that friendship is about heart and brain. Who's with me?
Good thing is, he knows when he's buzzed.
And my brain is saying, when it's time to go home, somebody call me a ride.
Love that guy.
Me too.
Know your buzzed warning signs? Call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Welcome back to Arlington Mountaineer Baseball, brought to us by Bowling Insurance Services, West Virginia's insurance agent with Erie Insurance on their team. Also by Molson Coors, Coors Light, Mountain Cold Refreshment, choose chill Mountaineers. Skylar King, Kyle West, Jace Reinhardt will be the first 3 batters up. 4, 5, and 6 is Sam White, Logan Save, Spencer Barnett. 7, 8, and 9, Gavin Kelly, Grant Hussey. Brody Kresser against Carson Marsh, the starting pitcher for the Bearcats, who's got an ERA of 7.12. He's given up 30 runs in 36 2/3. He's walked 21, struck out 40. Kind of a box of chocolates experience for Carson Marsh, right? But head coach for the Cincinnati Bearcats has got to feel good enough to pitch him out there, Wiggs.
Yeah, he's very, very hittable. He's definitely going to strike out some guys, but more importantly, when you look at the West Virginia lineup, is so many of your big hitters had off weeks, so you hope the rest, the time off, change of venue, something here will change, and it starts with Skylar King to got to find a way to get that run back and more.
Jordan Bischel, I'm sure, head coach for Cincinnati, a little annoyed that he won't have a full bullpen to throw against a team that I'm sure he'd love to have a win against. Move them on to the semifinals of the Big 12 tournament. Winner of this game moves on to take on Arizona tomorrow after the Wildcats defeated the Cougars. First pitch to King, and that's a pitch outside. You know, a lot of West Virginia's offensive struggles in that Kansas series was due to Jace Reinhardt and Sam White, who you've leaned on so frequently throughout the year to get you big knocks, but they went a combined 1 hit. Reinhardt was hitless. Next pitch outside to King, 2-0.
Reinhardt really struggled with those breaking balls away. A lot of ground balls, and you better believe he's going to get a few more today.
Well, encouraging sign is Marsh has already gone to the rosin bag after misfiring on the first 2 pitches. 2-0 to King here. And the offering is inside for ball 3. Skylar King, one of the best walk drawers on this team. He's walked 24 times already. We'll try and get on for the Mountaineers. 3-0 pitch. And that's outside for ball 4. 4 straight balls to Skylar King, and the tying run is aboard for the Mountaineers, Wakes.
That's really good patience. I mean, a lot of times you see the other team give up that run. You can get a little jumpy in the batter's box, but that's extremely good patience, and the reason why. You've seen Skylar King in that leadoff spot. He went back down to 6 briefly, and now he's back up to that leadoff.
All right, Kyle West is up. Senior from Hedgesville leads the team with a .352 batting average and has hit 9 games in a row for the Mountaineers. Favorable matchup against Marsh, the righty. King on first pitch. Comes way in on West, nearly hit him, and the count will be 1-0. So no strikes yet from starting pitcher Carson Marsh. 7 hits in the series against Kansas for Kyle, including a home run. 1-0. Outside again, 2-0. Had not seen a strike yet.
That's six balls in a row, and you see Carrington Cross coming over there to talk to Marsh, and that's a veteran move right there. To go out there, calm everything down, because this part of the order for the Mountaineers is definitely you don't want to get guys on in front. I mean, would you pitch? Be very difficult to pitch to Kyle West.
Couldn't agree more. And on top of that, maybe it wasn't as much as West Virginia struggling offensively in the series against Kansas as it was their starters throwing their career best games.
All 3 of them, they're really good. Had 3 quality starts.
All right, count is 2-0 on West. Here's the pitch. And that'll be a strike, 2-1. Finally, Marsh is able to hit the mark. Mountaineers trailing 1-0. They've got the tying run on first. And Skylar King after he drew a walk. Pickoff move that way. King will be back safely.
Pretty unique shift right now. Carrington Cross, third baseman, playing shortstop. Loudon Brooks straight up the middle, and Mitchell pinching in. You got 3 Bearcats playing straight up the middle.
How about that? See if West can pull one. 2-1. West swings, hits one directly to center field, but it's going to fall right into the glove of Pitts. And a fly ball keeps King on first, and Pitts able to make the catch one away.
That's a tough foul.
Powered by Learfield, this is the Georgia Southern Sports Network.
That would have meant a lot for Georgia Southern to jump out early against Louisiana. They put 2 on base with 1 out in the top of the first inning, but that will have to wait after Morgan strike.
Up steps Jace Reinhardt, 1 on, 1 out. Mountaineers down 1-0. Jace Reinhardt, team leader in doubles and RBI on the year. We'll try and create some offense here for West Virginia. Pickoff move to first, gets away from the cover man Coates. King is headed to second. He's going to round second and head to third. Here comes the throw. King is safe. Ball was dropped. King goes from first to third on an errant pickoff move from Carson Marsh. And the Mountaineers will take that gift. Bounced to the Cincinnati dugout and then ricocheted back into the outfield. Skylar King using his speed to get 90 feet from home.
And when you're a team like West Virginia that can really steal bases, you're going to have a ton of pickoff moves, and sometimes you need a little bit of luck in this big ballpark. Skylar King able to go to first to third on the air.
Jace Reinhardt will look to knock in a run, tie the game at 1. Marsh delivers. First pitch to Rhino, high for a ball. Dominic Vagley, in the start against West Virginia back on Thursday, went 7 innings, no runs, 6 hits, no walks, and 6 strikeouts. So that was the Game 1 starter for KU. Next pitch to Reinhardt, swing and miss, 1-1. And then Cooper Moore came in Game 2, went 8 innings, giving up only 3 runs on 10 hits, 8 strikeouts, only walking 2. So across the first 2 games, West Virginia only got 2 free passes, which is hard. Mountaineers gave up a considerable amount. 1-1. Reinhardt taps one, foul down the first base line. Kennel moved to 1-2.
Reinhardt's already seen sliders away, fastballs in. Finds himself down in the count. This is where you need that old school baseball. You don't need anything special. You got the middle infield playing back, runner on third base, less than 2 outs. don't try to do too much. Just get that ground ball so you can get that run in and tie this game up.
Count is 1-2. Mountaineers trail 1-0. King on third after the errant pickoff move. 1-2 from Marsh. Fastball struck him out on the outside corner, and there's 2 gone. Reinhardt goes down looking on a nice pitch. So 2 gone here in the first for West Virginia. They're trying to bring King home from third. And going back to that Kansas series, in the series finale, Cannon Carr in the 5 1/3 start for the Jayhawks. No runs, 2 hits, 1 walk. So across the 3 games, the 3 starters combined for only 3 walks. Just made it hard for West Virginia. Here's Sam White, first pitch. And that's low for Marsh, 1-0. Marsh trying to get out of this inning for the Bearcats. Unscathed after he threw 6 straight balls to open up his start. King on third. He'll walk down the line, 1-0. White swings and misses, 1-1. In spirit, you almost have to have something here for Sam White with how he struggled against the Jayhawks. When a combined 1 for 10. 1-1. Strike, 1-2. I saw a lot of left-handed pitching, though, in the Kansas series.
These hitters got to figure out a way to activate the attack mode. Looks like Marsh has settled down and got back in the zone.
Bearcats 1-0 in the first. Next pitch. That's a pitch right off the plate, and it's 2-2. King on third after he reached on a 4-pitch walk and then advanced to third from first base on an errant pickoff move. West flew out. Reinhardt struck out, and Sam White has 2 strikes on him, looking to drive in a run. And the 2-2 to White. Ground ball foul, first base side. Nearly was able to pull that one inside the bag and away from Coates. And the count will stay 2-2 to Sam White, who's hitting .352. White has driven in 39 runs. He's hit 15 doubles, 4 home runs. Favorable matchup is the lefty hitter against the pitcher Marsh, who throws right-handed. 2-2, swing and miss. White strikes out as he chased a pitch low and in. And Marsh bounces back, much like Kern. Gave up the first, and then gets 3 straight outs on West, Reinhardt, and White. One of the books. It's Cincinnati 1, West Virginia 0 on MSN.
It's Casey Bowling here, your 2006 WVU Baseball Team MVP. I'm president of Bowling Insurance Services, West Virginia's insurance agency. Erie Insurance is on our team, and with their rates and coverage, together we're a sure home run. Born and raised in West Virginia, played for West Virginia, I live and proudly run my business in West Virginia. I am a Mountaineer, and I'd be honored to have your business. Please visit us at bowlinginsurancewv.com for a no-obligation quote. Auto, home, business, and life insurance.
A dream can begin with any play with the West Virginia Lottery. While every play can't be a winner, every play is a win for West Virginia. Since 1986, lottery proceeds have been invested in our future. More than $3.9 billion towards West Virginia education. Proceeds have helped pave the way for high school graduates to reach their higher education dreams with the Promise Scholarship. No, not every play is a winner, but every play is a win for West Virginia. Dream big, because when you play, West Virginia wins. Play in-store or online with the iPlay app. Please play responsibly.
WVU Baseball is presented all season long by Bowling Insurance Services, West Virginia's insurance agent. Once again, here's Andrew Caridi.
Cincinnati 1, West Virginia 0. We'll head to the second inning on the Mountaineer Sports Network, brought to us by Tri-County Plumbing. Tri-County-PC.com to learn more. Go to the best of Mountaineer Country in 2024. I've recently had a water bubble pull up on the side of my house. I think I got to give him a call, Wiggs.
You better give somebody a call.
My neighbor actually drew the attention to it, and I said, okay, that's fine. I think I know what's causing it, but Tri-County Plumbing will be probably getting the call here pretty soon. All right, Cincinnati will send up Pitts, Brooks, and O'Connor. They lead 1-0. Would have loved to get that run across. Kind of needed that, Wiggs. Not to be dramatic at this point, but Yeah, I had a runner on third due to a mistake from Cincinnati. Would have loved to make him pay, tie the game.
Sure.
All right, here is Pitts. Freshman for the Bearcats. Swings and misses at the first pitch, 0-1. Pitts, a freshman, hitting .265. This is just his 18th start of the year. He's played in 39 games, and he is kind of the inclusion with the absence of Landon Vitorek. So he's in the lineup with his exclusion. 0-1 pitch is in for a strike. 0-2.
This bottom of the order for Cincinnati is very interesting with Brooks and O'Connor. Haven't had the seasons that they want, but you got 3 seniors after Pitts.
Yep. 0-2. Hit well to center field. King going back. On a slow trot, he's underneath it and makes the catch. Good contact there from Pitts as he barrels up that ball, but Skylar King chases it down to deep right center, makes the play, and there's one gone here in the second.
I think Kern needs to take a look at that. Threw a good pitch in there. There's so much ground out there. There's no wind. It's a deep ballpark. Force the contact and let your defense go to work out there.
All right, first and third pinching in here against Loudon Brooks, who gets the next at-bat. Brooks hitting .226. First pitch from Kern. Strike to Brooks on the outside edge of the plate. This is an interesting bottom of the order. Tommy O'Connor is on deck. Next pitch. And that's a pitch inside. Looked like it touched the plate. It'll be a ball, 1-1. Bearcats 1-0 lead over the Mountaineers here in Arlington. West Virginia trying to get its first ever win in its last ever tournament here in Arlington.
No better time than now.
1-1. Strike. Good pitch from Kern as he's working these guys inside now.
Oh, I love that. He missed the pitch before in, went straight back to it. And you can watch the hitters, how they take, and you can go back to that same spot and almost know that they're going to watch another one.
1-2 strikes to Brooks. Kern delivers and hit to center field. King up on it, and he makes the catch. As Loudon Brooks was able to barrel up that ball, came maybe a little closer to his hands than he would have wanted to, but hit it well, and Skylar King had to jump up to it and make the catch. There's a quick 2 outs picked up by Kern.
Yeah, 2 quick outs that Kern needed. You need a third one here to get your offense back in there. Like you said just a minute ago, you've got to find a way to get a run somehow.
All right, 2 outs, base is empty for Tommy O'Connor, senior first baseman for the Bearcats. O'Connor hitting .241 on the year, and he'll take a first pitch strike from Kern, who's getting ahead here in this half inning.
O'Connor's the lone lefty in this Cincinnati lineup.
0-1 pitch. Wave and miss. 0-2. Shift into right field for the West Virginia infield. Bearcats 1-0. Kern delivers. Outside for a ball.
O'Connor's one of those hitters, has 63 strikeouts on the year. If you get him down on the count, this has to be one of those guys you have to be able to put away with the strikeout.
Count is 1-2, base is empty. Pitch from Kern. Oh, a tapper towards short. Picked up there by Barnett, throws on the run, but safe at first base on a check swing tapper away from the shift. Cincinnati is able to salvage something as they luck out and get a check swing that ends up perfectly paced past Griffin Kern. Barnett had to charge in on it from his 6-hole position, and while all of that happened, he's able to get to first.
Yeah, O'Connor doesn't have a whole lot of speed, but with Barnett playing back, Kresser shifted over towards the middle of the field, made it really wasn't even a close play.
All right. It'll be an infield single with 2 outs for O'Connor. Ford shows bunt, misses it, and it'll be a ball. So he pulled it back as he was trying to drag bunt there. You get the runner from first to second. Bearcats leading 1-0. They do have a runner on here in the second. Pickoff move over that way and runner back safely. Kern delivers. Next pitch comes inside for a ball, 2-0.
We sure would like to see Kern find a way out of this inning with Ford at the plate when you have Carrington Cross on deck.
Mm-hmm. Kern behind 2-0, offers, and swung on and missed by Ford, the senior, 2-1. Donovan Ford batting .219 in 40 games this year. Kind of not a surprise why he showed bunt there. Only 3 doubles and 3 home runs and 20 RBI this year. Next pitch, popped it up, right side. Shallow right field, Gavin Kelly around it. Gavin Kelly called off by Reinhardt, who comes up to make the catch, and West Virginia strands 1. And we've played 1.5. Bearcats 1, West Virginia nothing. Bottom 2, West Virginia will send up Save, Barnett, and Kelly when we come back. It's Mountaineer Baseball on MSN.
Substance use disorder and addiction is so isolating. And so, as a Black woman in recovery, hope must be loud. It grows louder when you ask for help and you're vulnerable. It is the thread that lets you know that no matter what happens, you will be okay.
When we learn the power of hope, recovery is possible. Find out how at startwithhope.com. Brought to you by the National Council for Mental Wellbeing, Shatterproof, and the Ad Council.
Put your phone on D&D. That means that do not disturb when you're driving. And when you're going from point A to B, I need you to stay safe, please, so always sing with me. So put your phone on D&D. That means that do not disturb when you're driving. And when you're going from point A to B, I need you to stay safe, please, so always remember this beat.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Mountaineer Baseball is brought to us by Parmar Stores. If there's not a Parmar store near you now, there will be soon. And, of course, by Bowling Insurance Services. Bottom of the second coming up here from Arlington, Texas. West Virginia trying to get a win, advance to the semifinals as the 1 seed against Arizona. That game will be played tomorrow at 5 o'clock Eastern time. Andrew Paridi, Jake Wakehorse with you. Save, Barnett, and Kelly. We'll see what they can do here, Wags. Try and shake up his starter for the Bearcats, Carson Marsh, a little bit.
I like Save's another one of those guys that has to get going. Struggle with that high fastball. It's no secret he's probably going to see a lot more today. But I like Barnett and Kelly there. Both of those guys have been swinging the bat pretty well.
First team honors for Save, and he'll take a first pitch strike from Marsh. Hard to argue against Logan Save being the best catcher in the league this season from a defensive standpoint. 0-1 pitch. That's a high pitch that he does not chase, and it's 1-1. Logan 287 with 12 doubles, 7 home runs. Third most homers on the team. 1-1 from Marsh. That's a strike. 1-2. Passive approach here, I think, by Logan a little bit in this at-bat. Count is 1-2. And the pitch. Grounded to short. Getting at Brooks. He throws to first for the out. And there's one gone here in the second for the Mountaineers. Save made nice contact with it, but drove it right to the shortstop, Loudon Brooks, for the Bearcats.
You can see when those West Virginia hitters are getting down in the order, the Cincinnati catcher Natili, I mean, he's setting up almost a ball and a half, 2 balls outside. Really going to make those West Virginia hitters chase. They're down on the count.
All right, Spencer Barnett with 1 out, the base is empty. Bearcats leading at 1-0. First pitch to Spence. Strike. A little off the plate, and will go down for an 0-1 count to Barnett, the sophomore, batting .282 in the season. 0-1 from Marsh. That's another strike low in the zone. Do not have TrackMan available here at Globe Life Field, so we're just going to have to make up what calls we hate and what calls we don't. 0-2. Barnett flies out to left. It is drifting foul, and it will be off of the railing down the left field line. Cal Sefcik was giving it a heck of a chase down there as it ricocheted back in, and Barnett stays alive at 0-2.
You know, we can't see up and down in the zone without TrackMan, but got a pretty good view here from both sides of the plate.
Yeah, left and right is good. We are high above Globe Life Field, virtually right behind home plate. It's like Gomar Ballpark, but 100 feet up. 0-2, bouncing in, and the count will move to 1-2 on Barnett. So Spencer in the lineup as a left-handed bat against the right-handed throwing Marsh. Barnett has not had a hit, though, for West Virginia since May 6th. That was the midweek game against Pitt. Has gone hitless in one game against K-State and then didn't get a hit in 6 at-bats against KU, and takes the next pitch outside, 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes, bases empty. Mountaineers down 1-0 in the bottom of the second. 2-2 from Marsh. Barnett fouls it back and will stay alive. Student manager Cam Kirsch will deliver some baseballs to our home plate umpire for this one, Mike Morris. 2-2. And it is a strike 3 foul tip into the glove of Natili. 2 gone for the Mountaineers here in the second.
And Marsh has that slider going. Got Barnett out and White on both chasing those sliders. And you just hope that dugout doesn't say, "Oh, here we go again. We're still struggling to hit." You got to refuse to believe that. Mm-hmm. It's a new day, new game.
Here is all freshman team member Gavin Kelly. First pitch to him. Slider hits for a strike, 0-1. Very good freshman campaign for Gavin. 304 hitter. Kelly 5 doubles, 2 triples on the year, 0-1 pitch. Kelly swings and misses, and it's 0-2. And just as much as West Virginia not trying to get in their own heads of saying, here we go again, but the Cincinnati team loves to roll their positive momentum forward. Their vocal dugout. 0-2. Kelly fouls it off right side. And that Cincinnati team a lot more annoying to play in Cincinnati than away, but they do bring a good energy with them.
Yeah, they feed. They're really good down there in that dugout, and you can't pay attention to it.
Marsh from the stretch delivers the 0-2. Kelly fouls it back, stays alive. Mountaineers down 1-0 in the bottom of the second. Gavin Kelly, freshman from Pittsburgh. 3 hits in the Kansas series in 10 at-bats. Here's the 0-2. Low, 1-2. Also want to shout out Zach Easy Money Dabber McMillan, another student manager for the Mountaineers, traveling to every road series this year, packing the baseballs, bags. You'd be shocked how hard it is to get those bags underneath the bus. 1-2 to Kelly. He'll swing and miss, and it's a strike 3 to the freshman. Save, Barnett, and Kelly down in order via Carson Marsh. Marsh has struck out 4 Mountaineer hitters in the 7 that he has faced. 1-0 Bearcats will head to the third on MSN.
Store near you now, there will be soon. You hear us say that a lot, but it's true. Wherever you may go, chances are you'll find a Par-Mar store there, offering everything you need to get you in and then back on the road as soon as possible. From gas to groceries and snacks and items for your house, we have it at Par-Mar stores. Download the app and sign up for the Par-Mar Rewards Card too. West Virginia, Kentucky, Ohio, Maryland, Pennsylvania, and Virginia. If there's not a Par-Mar store near you now, there will be soon.
The U.S. Open is coming to Pittsburgh. Witness golf's toughest test at Oakmont Country Club this June. The championship will take place June 9th to 15th, 2025, and a variety of daily and weekly passes are available now. Visit usopen.com/tickets today. That's usopen.com/tickets to get your tickets to witness golf history.
You're listening to West Virginia Baseball, presented by Bowling Insurance Services, West Virginia's insurance agent. Now back to Andrew Caridi for more Mountaineer Baseball.
Welcome back to Arlington for the Big 12 tournament. West Virginia down 1-0 early in this game. A RBI double from Jack Natilli, making it 1-0. Off of West Virginia starter Griffin Kern, who allowed just an infield single in the last inning of work, but you got a really good chance when Griffin Kern is pitching legs, but the offense has to start to surge the right direction, yeah?
Yeah, Kern's typically is going to give you a pretty good outing to keep the game close. But on the offensive side, got to figure out a way to attack early in the count and lay off those sliders with 2 strikes.
Carrington Cross will lead off as we're back to the top of the order for UC. First pitch to Cross is high and away for a ball, 1-0. Drew a full count walk his first time up. Sun beginning to appear strongly through the glass here at Globe Life Field in Arlington, 1-0. Cross misses it, 1-1. Cross 405 average. Had only 2 hits against West Virginia in the 3 games, though. Next pitch. I'll take another strike. 1-2.
That was a big reason why West Virginia won a couple of close games against Cincinnati, holding him and Biderek down.
That's right. 1-2. Kern from the stretch offers, and that's fouled back. Count will stay the same. Since that, though, Cross has been phenomenal for the Bearcats, kind of sealing that Big 12 Player of the Year award in the last couple games. He was on a 10-game hit streak until yesterday when 0 for 4 against Texas Tech. 1-2. He swings and misses, dropped by Save. He'll pick up the ball, frame up the throw to first, and get the out. Nice job getting him to chase. An inside pitch really got him twisted up there. And he goes down as the first hitter in the third.
Yeah, it's going to be a really good outing for Kern if he's able to throw that slider on the back foot to those right-handed hitters and also be able to throw that changeup for a strike. That's a really good pitch to a really good hitter.
1-0 Bearcats. Top of the third. Up steps Natilli, who's 1 for 1 with the RBI double scoring cross back in the first. The first pitch outside from Kern for a ball. Griffin 2 1/3, 1 run, 2 hits, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts. He has thrown 40 pitches now after the first offering to Jack Natilli. Next pitch, swing and miss, 1-1. Natilli's second team All Big 12 as a sophomore. Natilli now with 49 RBI on the year. Kind of a lucky break for Cincinnati, or a lucky break anytime someone hems in a ball right down the line to stay fair. Next pitch, he'll swing and miss, 1-2. And the way that you draw it up, exactly what Cincinnati would want, and the last thing that West Virginia needed was a hole, albeit as small as it is, 1-0, to find themselves early in the first inning. 1-2. That's a low pitch, 2-2.
It's a good pitch to lay off of. You got Cross struck out on that same pitch.
Yep.
Natilli didn't even make an attempt.
2 balls, 2 strikes to Natilli. Bases empty, and the pitch. He'll lift one out foul, right side. I think the foul balls at Globe Life Field are the most fun foul balls all season. They have to be. Because you can see exactly where they land. There's so many empty seats here. There's so many tiers and decks, too. You never know where they're going to ricochet. Kern looks in. 2-2. Fastball, base hit right. Into right center. It is a single for Natili, and he is 2 for 2. Took a 2-strike pitch and hit it into the right center gap away from the dive of West Virginia's second baseman Gavin Kelly, who tried to extend himself to make that play but just couldn't reach it. About 5 feet short of his glove.
Yeah, didn't bite on the slider before that. Goes with a fastball away. That's a good piece of hitting. And Kelly was playing a little bit up the middle. If he's more straight up, ball's right at him. Sometimes you go back to that same pitch because that hitter doesn't think you're going to throw it 2 pitches in a row the same.
Here's Quentin Coates. Hits one well. It's a fly ball. Shallow center. Backing up Kresser. Kresser underneath it. Kresser catches it. And there's 2 outs. So 1 pitch and a high fly ball. Taken care of by the Mountaineer infielder. 2 gone. Runner stays on first. Natili.
It pays to have good Kresser there at shortstop that's really good at going back on those baseballs. That's a high fly ball. Long way for Skyler to run. I'm glad Skyler let him have that as he's camped under it for a long time.
This is Cal Sefcik. Take care of Coates in 1 pitch, and a first pitch to Sefcik is a strike. Coates was a .330 hitter. Sefcik is hitting .300. Wags, it's like you take care of the first 4 hitters in the Cincinnati lineup. Everybody else is under .270 when it comes to batting average. Next pitch comes inside from Kern, 1-1. So you just can't let things snowball because you love your chances with Griffin Kern on the bump against a little less than capable.
Well, we talked about the same thing when they were in Morgantown. You take care of that top of the order, you like your chances.
1-1, strike, 1-2. Bearcats leading 1-0. We're in the 3rd. Cincinnati scratching the run across in the 1st inning, but have been able to get a runner on in every inning thus far.
Heard that before last series.
2 strikes, 2 outs in the pitch. Poked foul by Sefcik. Ending up in the seats. Mountaineers will have Grant Hussey, Brody Kresser, and Skylar King. 8-9-1 when they hit in the 3rd. But, even though Cincinnati isn't getting to Kern all that much, they are making him work. And that's something to consider. Next pitch. Swung on and missed. Kern picks up another strikeout for the Mountaineers. That'll be his 4th of the game. And Griffin Kern keeps this a 1-run game heading into the bottom of the 3rd. Kern has thrown over 50 pitches, and the Mountaineers will look to hit in the bottom of the 3rd. When we come back, it's Mountaineer Baseball from Arlington on MSN.
Babes, what are you doing?
What? I'm just mowing the lawn.
No, it's blazing hot and dry out here. Don't you remember? Smokey Bear says,
avoid using power equipment when it's windy or dry.
Where'd you learn this?
Oh, it's on
SmokeyBear.com with many other wildfire prevention tips.
Right. Thanks, honey bear.
Because remember, only you can prevent wildfires.
Brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Ma, is this how you feed a hamster?
I think so.
Is my homework right?
I think so.
Is, this milk still good?
I think so.
When it comes to parenting, sometimes it's okay to think you know. But when it's something as important as your child's car seat, don't just think. Know. Double check if your child is in the right seat for their age and size. It'll help protect them in a car crash. Don't just think. Know by visiting nhtsa.gov/the right seat. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
All right, welcome back to the 3rd inning, bottom half. It'll be 8-9-1 for West Virginia. Hussey, Kresser, and King. How about this? What do you want to be the song of the game? They got the giant jumbo screen here. You can get the QR code on your cell phone and camera and then vote. For Nothing But a Good Time by Poison, Welcome to the Jungle, Panama, and TNT by AC/DC. Future's pretty wild, Wags. Well, getting thumbs down from Joe Mock. You don't like any of those songs? Or you don't like QR codes?
Yeah, there you go.
All right. See what Husbus can do here. West Virginia trying to gin up some momentum. Had some in the first. West Virginia had a runner on third. Couldn't bring him home, though. So Hussey will lead off. First pitch to him. And that's a strike. 0-1. Skylar King was walked in the bottom of the first, and then an errant pickoff move saw King advance from first to third. And then Jace Reinhardt struck out, and Sam White struck out. Couldn't bring him home. 0-1 pitch. Swing and miss by Hussey, 0-2. Well, Carson Marsh, starter for the Bearcats, has settled in. Marsh has thrown 37 pitches in 2 innings. 0-2. Outside. Marsh will get it back and then step off the bump for the moment. Grant Hussey hitting .274. Husbus 2 hits in the KU series. 1-2. Outside, 2-2. Grant a combined 2 for 10. It's not been the most exciting Husbus May. Has not had a multi-hit game since Texas Tech at the beginning of the month. 2-2 pitch. Struck him out looking. And that's a good pitch on the outside edge of the plate. Carson Marsh has struck out 3 in a row as he gets the Mountaineer leadoff hitter here in the third.
I like to see some of these hitters come up and just start swinging at the first pitch. And after start off the game 6 balls in a row, Marsh is getting ahead early. Either 2 pitches for strikes. Got to get going early in the count.
And Brody Kresser is up with the bases empty. First pitch, Brody, high and in. Kresser batting .270. 1 for 9 in the Kansas series. Next pitch, Brody fouled it back into the glove, and it'll be 1-1. Marsh delivers away for a ball. 2-1. I will say, this Mountaineer team, spending time with them, their spirits are not dimmed. Still having fun, still enjoying themselves, but obviously baseball's a difficult game. 2-1. Kresser pops it up, foul, right side, charging in. Ford can't get to it. It'll drop foul, 2-2. And unfortunately, good teams have slumps. You've just found your slump as you're getting into the postseason.
And typically, you just don't see so many players in one lineup have a slump at the same time. Typically, it's 1 or 2. You can move around the order. A couple of guys step up. It's just been all at once for this Mountaineer team the past 2 or 3 weekends.
Certainly 13-game winning streak, 14-game winning streak, not exactly sustainable when you're a Power 4 team, right? It's more of an exception instead of the rule. Here's the 2-2 to Kresser. Brody leaves it outside for a ball, 3-2. And there's something to be said with West Virginia winless in Arlington. You get to the end of the season when you travel as much as the Mountaineers do, and it does unfortunately wear on you a bit.
Oh, yeah.
3-2 bases empty. Kresser pops it up, shallow right center, could fall for a hit, and instead it's caught on the run by the second baseman, Mitchell. And that will be the second out.
Still waiting, went through the whole lineup without a base hit. I'm still a firm believer that you need somebody to step in that batter's box and knock one hard up the middle, kind of loosen up the team. And still waiting for that base hit.
Skylar King reached in the first via walk on 4 pitches from Carson Marsh. See how Marsh approaches him here. Kyle West had the best swing of the game so far for West Virginia as the first pitch rides into King, 1-0. Hit one well to center, but waiting for it was Pitts for the outs. Kyle West has really been your only good hitter in the last week and a half, 1-0. That's a pitch in for a strike to King. And you know what, though? Even in a worst-case scenario, West Virginia will have a lot of time off before the regional. We all know how those can be unpredictable for better or for worse. 1-1. King fouls it off, 1-2. See what Skyler can do here for the Mountaineers. They trail this game 1-0 on the bottom of the third. Here's the pitch. King lifts one well to left. It's in the air. It's on the way, but caught on the run by Sefcik in left center. He had to glide like a gazelle over to the progressive sign. Easy play to read as King got that hard hit you were looking for. Unfortunately, it's a fly out. The Mountaineers down in order again in the third. Cincinnati 1, West Virginia 0. We'll head to the fourth on MSN.
United Bank. Banking means more than financial solutions. It means rallying around the causes that are important to our customers, employees, and communities. While we have grown in size and presence, we have never forgotten our roots. By giving back to our local communities and funding business development, we help fuel economic growth. Our success is your success, because to us, this is home. United Bank, West Virginia's bank, proud to be united with the Mountaineers. Member FDIC.
For the 5th consecutive year, U.S. News & World Report ranks WVU Medicine J.W. Ruby Memorial as the #1 hospital in West Virginia. It's also recognized as high-performing in cancer, gastroenterology and GI surgery, orthopedics and urology, and in 16 procedures and conditions. Trust the hospital ranked in the top 11% of hospitals for clinical outcomes, level of nursing care, and patient experience. Visit WVUmedicine.org.
You're listening to West Virginia University Baseball on MSN, the Mountaineers Sports Network. Now let's go back to the ballpark and Andrew Caridi.
Welcome back to Arlington for the Big 12 tournament. 1 seed West Virginia trying to come back on the 8th seed Cincinnati are in a place in the semifinals. Here in the Big 12 tournament. 1 win, and you advance. 1 loss, and you go home. That's the new format for the last year in Arlington. And honestly going forward at Surprise Stadium in Surprise, Arizona, moving ahead. So Cincinnati will send up Mitchell, Pitts, and Brooks as their hitters here in this 4th inning. This will be the last. Mitchell is 0 for 1. Now, the same people that do the negotiations, that made the negotiations for the Big 12 here. So Cincinnati will send up Mitchell, Pitts, and Brooks as their hitters here in this 4th inning. This will be the last popped up, and that's going to be tracked there by second baseman Kelly and Hussey. Hussey's underneath it. He'll make the catch for the first outer. Also, I guess the proprietors of Surprise Stadium in Arizona as well. So they make those deals and send them out west. A lot of people that I've talked to, I know the Arizona people aren't thrilled about it because it kind of takes away from the athlete experience if you're on the West Coast. However, I think if you're, UCF or Cincinnati, you say, yeah, it's further, but athlete experience-wise, I guess, sure.
That's a different stadium. It's going to be a little warmer than what it is in Globe Life today.
I'm going to miss the inside press box. All right, here's Pitts. First pitch, fouled back, 0-1. Cincinnati leads 1-0 on the RBI double from Natilli back in the first. West Virginia has not had a hit yet. Cincinnati has had 3 hits, although the infield single from O'Connor and the single from Natilli coming in back-to-back innings. 0-1 pitch, sword miss, 0-2. Cincinnati has been able to get a runner on in every inning thus far. 0-2 to Pitts. They'll let it go. Inside, appeal down to first. No go. First base umpire, Casey Moser. Second base is Scott Latondra. And third base is Mark Wagers. Solid crew. You got to be good to ump the Big 12 tournament. Kern is settled in. 1-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. He strikes out Pitts, and there's 2 gone in the 4th.
We've seen this before, especially in this offensive struggles of West Virginia. Kern has done exceptionally well He's doing it again today, man. You just love to see that offense back him up. It's hard to, as a pitcher, carrying all that weight on your shoulders. And Kern, man, he is showing why he is an ace pitcher on this staff today.
All right, here's Loudon Brooks. 1-0 Bearcats in the fourth. First pitch, Brooks. He'll swing and miss on an inside pitch, 0-1. Next pitch, outside. Count is now evened up. Griffin Kern has thrown 59 pitches. Question of how long he can go is kind of part of the equation because he threw over 120 pitches Thursday against KU in that 8 innings of work. 1-1. Bunt shown, pulled back, inside, 2-1. And Griffin Kern has been getting acupuncture in his throwing arm since the middle part of the year. 2-1. Breaker misses outside. 3-1. Brooks is trying to draw a walk here to get on base. Has walked 19 times this season. Hitters count now to Brooks. The pitch. It's a strike, and it's 3-2. Good pitch from Kern that time. Griffin has only walked Carrington Cross, the first batter of the game, that's it. 2 outs, full count. And the pitch, fouled off. Bearcats 1, West Virginia 0. And you're so close to taking care of Brooks, which would make it 8-9-1 the next time around. A cross up there with a less than likely chance to have runners on, with low averages from O'Connor and Ford. 3-2. 3. And Kern gets the call. Another 3-up, 3-down inning from Griffin Kern. It's the first time of the game.
Hear that? It's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. Beating in rhythm to the world you've created. But
First and second, nobody out for the Mountaineers. Here's the pitch. Outside again. 2-0. Haven't seen anything resembling a strike. (2-0). Outside again, 3-0 to Save. Spencer Barnett is on deck for West Virginia. Three balls, no strikes to Save. Nobody out in a 1-1 game with 2 on. The pitch. Save takes ball 4, and the bases are loaded with nobody out on a low pitch from Buchkowski. Have the fortunes reversed for West Virginia in a half inning.
These are those innings, Andrew. You gotta figure out a way to put up a crooked number. You've seen it done all year, and you're number 1 team in this league for a reason. And these are the type of innings you have to show your strength. As there's going to be a pitching mound as the entire Cincinnati bullpen is going to head out to right center.
So Cincinnati's pitching coach will now visit their reliever, Adam Buchkowski. This is a spirited conversation being had right now. Just trying to buy some time here.
Buchkowski throws from that low 3/4 arm slot, and he's missing all over the zone. And typically those pitchers, they're really good at getting chases down in the zone. So Barnett here in this at-bat, you would hope Buchkowski is really trying to throw a strike and see that fastball flatten out just a little bit. See if we can't plate 1 or 2.
All right, bases loaded. Nobody out for the Mountaineers in a 1-1 game in the bottom of the 4th. Here comes the first pitch to Spencer Barnett. Inside for ball 1. Remember we talked about 3-run innings being more important than anything else in the game of baseball? This has to be it. West Virginia's already scored 1. 1-0. Barnett fouled it off, 1-2. One ball, 1 strike, rather, to Barnett. So count even. Barnett still with a strike to play with. Buchkowski has struggled with his command early since coming in for Carson Marsh. 1-1. And that is just outside for a ball, 2-1.
If Buchkowski was more in the zone, that live would have been a strike right there. Home plate umpire Mike Morris really making him earn that strike zone this half inning.
Completely agree. Bases loaded, nobody out. The 2-1 to Barnett. Way outside, 3-1.
These base runners have to be really careful in situations like this when your pitcher's struggling. Teams will look for outs and picks on the bases, so you really got to be dialed in on the base pass right now.
Nobody holding the base runners. 3-1 to Barnett. 1-1 game in the 4th. And the pitch. Barnett, ground ball, off the glove of the first baseman. Barnett's going to reach first and score the run. It is 2-1 West Virginia. Scoring is Reinhardt. Barnett with a ground ball hit to the first baseman, Coates. It ricocheted off of his glove. Wasn't hit particularly hard, but Coates had to come across to make the dive. He ended up knocking that ball away from him, and West Virginia's got the 2-1 lead.
Boy, Andrew, you'll take him any way you can. Like you said, not extremely hard hit, but just enough. Taking Coates. Yeah, that base runner's right in front of him. Kind of blinded his vision just enough to glance off the glove. He's going to give that a single with Barnett.
And the RBI dispenser. Here's Gavin Kelly with the bases loaded. Still nobody out. First pitch to Gavin is a strike. Mountaineers have taken their first lead of the game. Cincinnati went up 1-0 in the first. West Virginia able to score 2 in the 4th. Solo home run from West, and hopefully it's still not over for the Mountaineers. They lead by 1 with the bases loaded. 0-1 to Kelly. Gavin, ground ball, hit to third. Cross has got it. Throws home for the force out, and the throw held at home as they get the force out. Run doesn't score, and that's a first out picked up by Cincinnati. Base is still loaded, one away. Good play and recognition there from the Big 12 Player of the Year, Carrington Cross, to get the force out at home and get Sam White.
Yeah, that is a veteran play. Usually corner infield is going to pinch in and ball hit back, go to the plate. You'd almost wish you'd have tried to turn two there to at least get that extra run.
Mm-hmm.
But what I like is there's contact. The Mountaineers are getting contact now, look more comfortable in the box.
All right, Grant Hussey with the bases loaded and one out. First pitch. Hussey takes a strike. Grant is 0 for 1 with a strikeout. This has to be the inning for the West Virginia offense to score multiple runs. And the next pitch from Buczkowski. Hussey pops it up foul. Left side here at Globe Life Field. Count will move to 0-2 quickly on Hussey. West Virginia getting a solo home run from Kyle West to begin this fourth. And then the floodgates opened up with Rhino reaching on a wild pitch after striking out. White hit by a pitch and Save walked. 0-2. Hussey fouled it straight back. And Grant will stay alive. RBI single from Spencer Barnett scores Reinhardt from third. And then Gavin Kelly grounds out, reaches on a fielder's choice. Bases loaded, one out. Have to have multiple runs here. 0-2. Hussey pokes one back to the pitcher, and will hit him right in the mouth. Hussey's going to reach safely. A run's going to score as that was bounced off of the grass into the face of the pitcher, Buczkowski. It'll be 3-1 West Virginia, but now the concern is for the Cincinnati pitcher. That was chopped right back at him.
Oh, there's some blood coming out of there right now. Those comebackers were tough, and it took that hop off that dirt. Boy, man, you hate to see that. As a former pitcher, Andrew, they're never easy, and a lot of times it's reaction, and boy, that took a bad hop on him.
You know, it was interesting because that ball maybe hit slower than he would have expected, right? So he had his glove, and he actually brought it across his face, and the ball hadn't reached him yet. So Buczkowski is going to be taken off there with a towel across his face. It'll be 3-1 West Virginia with the ball ricocheting off of Buczkowski. 2-run lead for the Mountaineers with one out. They've still got the bases loaded, and they'll have to attend to the Cincinnati pitcher. And things have gone bad to worse here for the Bearcats as they'll have to make a pitching change. Now Carrington Cross and the rest of the infielders are putting some of that sand over the blood of their relief pitcher right now. Mountaineers lead by 2. And a tough break for the Bearcats because you think if Buczkowski is able to field that one hit back to him, he throws home, and then they're able to throw to first to get Hussey. So West Virginia catches a bit of a break here. And now Cincinnati, trailing by 2 in the bottom of the fourth, will have to shore things up here, and they'll get a pitching change on. So, new pitcher. It'll be Horst coming in. We'll take a break and get you Horst's numbers when we come back. 3-1 Mountaineers. Bottom of the fourth, they got the bases loaded with one out.
Our store near you now, there will be soon. You hear us say that a lot, but it's true. Wherever you may go, chances are you'll find a Par-Mar store there, offering everything you need to get you in and then back on the road as soon as possible. From gas to groceries and snacks and items for your house, we have it at Par-Mar stores. Download the app and sign up for the Par-Mar Rewards Card too. West Virginia, Kentucky, Ohio, Maryland, Pennsylvania, and Virginia. If there's not a Par-Mar store near you now, there will be soon.
At United Bank, banking means more than financial solutions. It means rallying around the causes that are important to our customers, employees, and communities. While we have grown in size and presence, we have never forgotten our roots. By giving back to our local communities and funding business development, we help fuel economic growth. Our success is your success, because to us, this is home. United Bank, West Virginia's bank, proud to be united with the Mountaineers. Member FDIC.
A dream can begin with any play with the West Virginia Lottery. While every play can't be a winner, every play is a win for West Virginia. Since 1986, lottery proceeds have been invested in our future. More than $3.9 billion towards West Virginia education. Proceeds have helped pave the way for high school graduates to reach their higher education dreams with the Promise Scholarship. No, not every play is a winner, but every play is a win for West Virginia. Dream big, because when you play, West Virginia wins. Play in-store or online with the iPlay app. Please play responsibly.
This is West Virginia University Baseball.
For the Bearcats, 5'10 lefty junior from Lidditz, Pennsylvania. And he will replace Adam Buchkowski, who just took a chopper off the face and had to leave the game, as Grant Hussey bounced the ball right back at him, was unable to field it, and he caught that one in the bad spot. So all the best to him. Hope he's the best, and it'll be Horst's game as Brody Kresser's got the bases loaded and one out.
Horst comes in 15th appearance, 2-0 with a 4.35 ERA. Only 10 1/3 pitch this year, giving up 5 runs on 6 hits, 8 walks, 6 strikeouts. Opponents only hitting 188. Second time we've seen Horst this year. Came in relief that Thursday night game, 1 1/3, only gave up 1 hit, no runs.
Yeah, walked 3.
Yeah.
Can't do that now, can't afford to do that with West Virginia having the bases loaded. First pitch to Brody Kresser is low for a ball, 1-0. So this inning started with a home run from Kyle West as the leadoff hitter here in the 4th. West Virginia had not had a hit to that point. They now lead it 3-1. Next pitch to Brody. He'll swing and foul it off. 1-1. Reinhardt struck out, but reached first on a wild pitch. Sam White was hit by a pitch and saw there was walk, so the bases were loaded with nobody out. Barnett hit an RBI infield single. Kelly grounded out. Hussey scored another run. That was Save from third. So a 3 spot here in the 4th. Next pitch. Kresser comes inside on him, bounces and protected by Natilli. 2-1.
I'd like to see one of those vintage Kresser ground balls through the 6 hole with Brooks kind of shaded a little bit up the middle and double play depth. Cross really holding that line at third. And he's moving off a little bit now to cover up the hole.
2-1 pitch. Low, 3-1. It's entirely possible that West Virginia gets a run walked in here. We're in the 4th inning. Mountaineers lead 3-1. And the pitch. Kresser hits one to center field well. That is traveling to the center fielder Pitts. He makes the catch. Runners are going to tag up from third to home and second to third. Crossing home plate to Spencer Barnett. That'll make it 4-1 West Virginia on the sac fly from Brody Kresser. 2 gone.
A good piece there by Brody. That's a good pitch, a hitter's count. Able to extend that lead, keep getting RBIs. That's the type of baseball you need to play, and now you got to find a way to go with 2 here and really break this game open.
At first and third for West Virginia, 2 outs. The out picked up by Cincinnati comes at the cost of a run, which makes it 4-1 Mountaineers. Here comes Skylar King, already his 3rd at-bat in the 4th inning. Here's the first pitch, Skylar, outside for ball 1. Gavin Kelly is on third. And on first is Husbucks. Mountaineers by 3. Here's the next pitch. Outside to King. 2-0.
This is a big spot for King right here because Horst is taking a look over there and see who's on deck with Kyle West just waiting to get his second at-bat in this inning.
2-0 is outside for a ball. And these Cincinnati pitchers struggling to get ahead in the count, unlike their starter, Carson Marsh. .3-0 with 2 outs. And that is ball 4 to Skylar King, and it seems that the fortunes have been reversed here for West Virginia. When it rains, it pours. But for the first time in what feels like 6 or 7 games, it does not come at the expense of West Virginia.
You got 4 runs, but it's been a lot of dink. It's been some free passes.
Yeah.
You got the home run from Kyle West, but you're still waiting for that really big extra base hit with runners on to really kind of put your foot down on this inning.
And now Chase Horst will get a visit from his catcher, Jack Natilli. West Virginia is trying to advance to meet Arizona in the Big 12 semifinals tomorrow at 4 o'clock.
Cincinnati has a right-hander, number 13. Looks like Brandon Shire is warming up there now.
Bases loaded, 2 outs. Best hitter, Kyle West, who's extended his hit streak to 10 games, will get an at-bat, but it seems to be not coming against Chase Horst, as Jordan Bishop will come out and visit his reliever. They have another change coming up for the Bearcats in what has been a very lengthy 4th inning of work.
Bishop's taking his time, given his reliever's already coming out the door, and he hadn't even signaled till now he is.
All right, pitching change for Cincinnati, 4-1 Mountaineers. Bottom of the 4th, they've got the bases loaded, but 2 outs. Kyle West at the plate when we come back on MSN.
Pole to foul pole. Listen to the first weekend of the NCAA Division I Baseball Championship with the Regional Rundown Show. If you've ever wished for a radio version of NFL Red Zone, but for college baseball, then allow us to put it on a tee for you.
Live on the Varsity Network app. Join our crew starting Friday, May 30th as we go game to game across the 16 regional sites. We'll have the live hometown radio call, highlights, scores, and reactions.
Dive head first into the Regional Rundown beginning Friday, May 30th, exclusively on the Varsity Network app.
For the 5th consecutive year, U.S. News and World Report ranks WVU Medicine J.W. Ruby Memorial as the #1 hospital in West Virginia. It's also recognized as high-performing in cancer, gastroenterology and GI surgery, orthopedics and urology, and in 16 procedures and conditions. Trust the hospital ranked in the top 11% of hospitals for clinical outcomes, level of nursing care, and patient experience. Visit WVUmedicine.org.
Rebuilders Commercial Restoration is happy to see the Mountaineers get back to business on the diamond and is happy to get your company back to business in times of need. They specialize in 24/7 emergency commercial restoration across greater Morgantown, Pittsburgh, and beyond. Their expert staff knows that every second counts in saving and restoring your property once a disaster strikes. So make sure to learn more about their pre-disaster plans on their website, rebuildersrestoration.com, or give them a call at 866-535-0363 today.
This is West Virginia University
The 4-1 lead, all starting by the guy who's about to get the next at-bat, Kyle West. Brandon Shire, 6'1", righty, redshirt senior from Portland, Michigan, hoping to reverse the fortunes here and get out of this.
Yeah, he's making his team-leading 26th appearance, 3-0 with a 4.25 ERA. Does have 3 saves, 36 innings pitched. Giving up 19 runs on 31 hits, 16 walks, 39 strikeouts.
Kyle West has got the bases loaded and waves at the first pitch, 0-1. West's hitting streak is now 10 games with his solo home run, his 10th of the year. That tied things up in the 4th. I'm not sure anybody had a 4-run 4th for the Mountaineers on the bingo cards. Next pitch, West leaves it out for a ball, 1-1. This will be Shire's second time pitching against West Virginia. Went a third of an inning in Morgantown, 1-1. Low to West, 2-1. And he could not throw strikes in that game. He walked 2 in just a third of an inning and gave up a hit. Faced 4 batters before he was pulled. Bases loaded, the pitch. Low for a ball, 3-1. And West Virginia, if they get another ball here to Kyle West, would take a 5-1 lead.
Nowhere to put West here. Shire's got to go at West here. Got to be thinking West is going to be swinging out of his shoes here. Anything close.
Bases loaded, the pitch. High for ball 4, and that'll make it 5-1 West Virginia on a bases loaded walk. And Jace Reinhardt has the opportunity to drive in more runs for West Virginia as Gavin Kelly scores from third, making it 5-1 here in this quarterfinal matchup. This has been a first pitch strike to Reinhardt, 0-1. What has felt like an hour-long half inning.
It's getting close.
Tell me about it. 5-1 West Virginia on 3 hits. Here's the next pitch. Rhino swings and misses, 0-2. Bases loaded, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Mountaineers lead at 5-1 in the fourth. And they have taken that advantage of the mistakes from Cincinnati that you've begged them for. 0-2. And that's a high pitch, 1-2. Shire's still ahead. Reinhardt still dangerous. 1-2 pitch. Reinhardt swings and misses. And the inning is over, but West Virginia puts up 5 in the bottom of the fourth, including a solo home run from Kyle West. It is a 4-run lead for West Virginia as we'll head to the fifth. From Arlington on the Mountaineer Sports Network.
Presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you're planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill.
Celebrate responsibly. 2025 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Rebuilders Commercial Restoration is happy to see the Mountaineers get back to business on the diamond and is happy to get your company back to business in times of need. They specialize in 24/7 emergency commercial restoration across greater Morgantown, Pittsburgh, and beyond. Their expert staff knows that every second counts in saving and restoring your property once a disaster strikes. So make sure to learn more about their pre-disaster plans on their website, rebuildersrestoration.com, or give them a call at 866-535-0363 today.
You're listening to live coverage of Mountaineer Baseball. Play-by-play action continues now with Andrew Caridi.
All right, welcome back to the Big 12 tournament in Arlington, as West Virginia has taken the 5-1 lead over the Cincinnati Bearcats. All starts with the only West Virginia hitter that had been doing much for you over the last week or so, Kyle West, with a leadoff home run, and then it all spiraled from that point for Cincinnati. They could not get outs. West Virginia was able to get 3 hits in that inning, draw 3 walks, and take a hit by pitch as well. Mountaineers able to get a substantial 5 runs across for their team. Wags, as we head to the top of the 5th inning. Bunt laid down, third base line. Kern's going to pick it up, throw to first, and it's not in time. Takes Hussey off the bag, and it's a bunt single for O'Connor here in the 5th to start things out.
I don't think anybody thought O'Connor was going to bunt there. That's just a really, really good baseball play there. 2 infield singles for O'Connor today in the 8th hole.
All right, so leadoff single here for Cincinnati. But again, much like we have talked about West Virginia over the last couple of games, there is no 5-run home run. So they're going to have to just nickel and dime what they can here as a first pitch is high to the next hitter, Donovan Ford, 1-0. Now, Griffin Kern had been sitting on the bench for West Virginia. That was a half inning that went 35 minutes. 1-0 pitch. Bunt shown, strike taken, 1-1. But again, this is a Cincinnati team that is crafty, and you got to be crossing your T's and dotting your I's, because they'll pull out plays like that. Their dugout's still trying to get a little vocal. Pickoff move to first. Oeg's question, I mean, If Kern goes 127 pitches last week, throwing well, but then sits for that time period, favorable, not favorable?
He was warming. He's throwing on the side over there.
1-1, fouled back, 1-2.
Yeah, I think it's mostly mental when you get to that point.
Yeah.
You know, if I was pitching, I sat for that long because my team was going to give me 5 runs. I'll sit 30 minutes every inning.
Yeah. Yep.
If you know what I mean. So
sure.
I don't think there's a whole lot to play on that one.
2 strikes to Ford. Carrington Cross is on deck. And the 1-2. Ford fouls it down the first baseline. Came in on the hands. And he'll stay alive. 5-1 is the West Virginia lead here in the 5th. West Virginia was held to 3 runs in the opener in Morgantown, then 6 runs in Game 2, and then they scored 10 in Game 3. 1-2 pitch bouncing in. A 2-2 to Ford. But now that is with the qualifier that Cincinnati has already used its best pitching, or at least best starting pitching yesterday when they had to beat Texas Tech to get to this quarterfinal matchup. Two from Kern. Ford into right field. That is going to be a base hit. And rounding second, heading to third is O'Connor. Ford heading back to first. He's got a single into the outfield for the Bearcats. They have hit Griffin Kern twice here with an infield bunt single and a Ford opposite field slapper out to right. First and third, and Carrington Cross has 2 base runners on with nobody out.
Yeah, you've seen this all year long from the Cincinnati team. Is they can get down any amount of runs, and there's no quit. There's tons of fight. Typically, you've seen teams go to the 5 spot and almost roll over, and this is not going to happen. Cincinnati's going to make you earn every single out.
Carrington Cross, redshirt senior, steps up. First pitch from Kern. Cross fouls it off, 0-1. Kind of a worst-case scenario here for West Virginia because you've given 2 guys with lower averages on the year, O'Connor at 241 and Ford at 219 to reach, and now you've got the Big 12 Player of the Year, a 400 hitter, and Carrington Cross at the plate. 0-1. Outside from Kern, 1-1. Mountaineers lead 5-1 in the 5th. Cross with a walk and a strikeout his first 2 plate appearances. Pickoff move to first as Ford is dancing a little bit in his leadoff. We'll get back to the bag. Count is 1-1 to Carrington Cross. And the pitch. Outside for a ball, 2-1 from Kern. Mountaineers lead 5-1 in the 5th. Kern has now thrown 74 pitches. 2-1. Kern up the middle. Ground ball. Kresser fields it, throws to first. In time for the double play. The run will score for Cincinnati, but you get Carrington Cross. They hit into a double play, and there's 2 big outs at the cost of a run for West Virginia. 5-2, but you make that trade.
That's one of those plays. You'll take that any day of the week, especially after getting 5 runs in the last half inning. When you get that Big 12 Player of the Year to ground in a double play, and really for the moment avoid that big inning. Well, that's a really good pitch execution for Kern.
So O'Connor scores from third, and it's a 5-2 game. First pitch comes inside Jack Natilli. 1-0. So a 3-run lead now for West Virginia. But I'm sure Cincinnati's saying the same thing, saying we still got about 4 more frames of offense, Next pitch, here's a fly ball hit well to left field, and that is a big fly ball that leaves the park. Home run, Jack Natilli, and just like that, it's 5-3. He slaps one in the air to left field over Kyle West, and it's a 2-run game. Natilli has just hit his 9th of the season.
Boy, he got all of that one. 406 feet to dead left. Tilly, man, having himself a day, 3 for 3 with a double and a home run. Showing why he got himself on one of the all-conference teams.
He knew it as soon as he hit that ball. He left the bat down and watched it go. Well, Cincinnati has clawed back 2 and a pitch and miss from Coates, 0-1. It is now a 2-run game with West Virginia leading 5-3 in the 5th. Cincinnati team that is gritty and honestly kind of what they wanted. Next pitch, here's a pop-up, shallow right, chased by Reinhardt and Hussey. And Reinhardt will come up, make the catch for the final out. West Virginia would have loved to throw up a 0, but Cincinnati with a very favorable, if you're them, 2 runs to answer West Virginia's 5 in the 5th. It's a 2-run game, and West Virginia to the bats when we come back. It's Mountaineer Baseball from Arlington, the Big 12 tournament on MSN.
Are you prepared for an emergency or disaster? Because it's not a matter of if, but when. Don't find yourself saying,
when the storm rolls in, my time to find a pet-friendly evacuation center will have run out.
The scorching heat wave will leave me powerless to cool my insulin.
I'll face a hurricane without meds. Now that's a tough pill to swallow.
Let's prepare so we all have a better story to tell. Get started at ready.gov/older adults. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
This is your captain. We are going to be experiencing some slight turbulence. Please fasten your... Oh, hold on. Just got a video of my cat.
Imagine the pilot of an airplane was as confident as you are texting and driving. Seems kind of crazy when you put it like that.
Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
All right, 2-run lead for the Mountaineers as we head to the bottom of the 5th. Sam White, Logan Save, and Spencer Barnett will have the cracks for West Virginia. 5-3 game. Mountaineers putting up 5 on the Bearcats in the 4th. But Cincinnati with a much-needed response with 2 runs in the 5th. So it is just a 2-run game. Wegs, that's what you need to do if you want to come back if you're Cincinnati. But now West Virginia has to find a way to take that momentum where they sent up 10 hitters in that 4th inning and keep it rolling.
Yeah, you want to trade blows back and forth. I've seen Cincinnati score a ton of runs against Kansas when they were going back and forth in Lawrence.
First pitch to Sam White, fouled back. White struck out and was hit by a pitch in his first 2 at-bats. Yeah, that game 2 for the Bearcats against Kansas was a wild game. Finished 18-14 in 10 innings. 0-1 to White. He'll hit one to left, and it's caught by the shortstop, Loudon Brooks. He lined one that looked like it was labeled for the gap left side, but instead ends up in the glove and a light hop from Loudon Brooks at short.
Yeah, that's one that Sam White, I know it's a really hard hit ball the other way, but boy, he needed that one to get over the gloves of Brooks.
Yep. All right, 1 out, bases empty for Sabe in a 2-run West Virginia lead. Sabe, ground ball hit to third. Carrington crosses on it, throws it to first for the out. There's a quick 2 outs. 1 pitch, 1 swing, and Logan Sabe is now 0 for 2 with a walk. And this relief pitcher, Brandon Shire, is trying to get that offense immediately back out there. Going to take care of Spencer Barnett. First pitch, Barnett swing and miss. 0-1. Well, I think they're trying to do what you said, Wags, which was attack that first pitch, try and stay aggressive.
You got to do something to change it.
When you can live with a Sam White liner caught by the shortstop. 0-1. And that's a high pitch away from Shire. West Virginia won up 5-1 in the 4th, and then Cincinnati Drew 2 back here in the 5th. We're in the bottom half of the inning. Bases empty. 2 outs to Spencer Barnett, who's 1 for 2. Next pitch is outside for a ball. 2-1. Barnett with an infield single as he turned on that one, slapped it off the glove of the first baseman Coates, and was able to reach and drive in a run. 2-1 to Barnett. And Spencer takes a high pitch for a ball. 3-1. Three-one pitch. Barnett swings, fouls it off left side, and count will run full. Barnett picking up his 26th RBI of the season. Scoring Jace Reinhardt from third. Full count, bases empty, and the pitch. Barnett into the outfield left side, and up to it is Sefcik. He'll make the catch, in West Virginia down in order in the bottom of the 5th. We've played 5 complete. It's a 2-run game from Arlington. We'll head to the 6th. 5-3 Mountaineers. Cincinnati will send up Sefcik, Mitchell, and Pitts when we come back.
Up any play with the West Virginia Lottery. While every play can't be a winner, every play is a win for West Virginia. Since 1986, lottery proceeds have been invested in our future. More than $3.9 billion towards West Virginia education. Proceeds have helped pave the way for high school graduates to reach their higher education dreams with the Promise Scholarship. No, not every play is a winner, but every play is a win for West Virginia. Dream big, because when you play, West Virginia wins. Play in-store or online with the iPlay app.
Please play responsibly. The Pediatric Urology Program at WVU Medicine Children's has been nationally ranked by U.S. News & World Report for the 7th consecutive year. Our team includes the only board-certified pediatric urologist in West Virginia who treats kidney, bladder, and reproductive conditions. We're the only pediatric urology practice in the state offering robotic surgery. Trust the nation-leading experts at WVU Medicine Children's. Call 855-WVU-CARE or visit WVUkids.com.
Mountaineer Baseball on MSN is presented by Bowling Insurance Services, West Virginia's insurance agent. Now back to Andrew Caridi with all the play-by-play action.
All right, West Virginia up 2 runs as we head to the 6th inning. Andrew Caridi, Jake Wakehorse with you. Mountaineer Baseball is brought to us by Jarrett Construction. Right on time, right on budget. Jarrett Construction. Whether it's a renovation or design build, they get the job done right. Also brought to us by Molson Coors. Coors Light Mountain Cold Refreshment. Choose chill Mountaineers. Please celebrate responsibly. Griffin Kern coming back out. He has thrown 78 pitches. He's gone 5 innings, giving up 3 runs on 6 hits. He's only walked 1 and struck out 6. So if you're going to beat Griffin Kern, you got to get hits off him. Yeah, and every time that Cincinnati's got the first runner on in an inning is when they've scored their run. So this first at-bat's going to be critical for Kern. Sefcik, fly ball, center field. Coming up to it, Skylar King. He'll make the catch. It's 1 pitch, 1 out. As Sefcik went chasing that low pitch. And there's 1 gone. Kern's really handled this middle part of the order. Outside of Natilli and the bottom, O'Connor and Ford have been really pesky at the bottom. He's done a really nice job with everybody else. Agreed. All right, here is Christian Mitchell. He is 0 for 2 with a strikeout. First pitch. And he'll take a strike, 0-1. Kern set again. And the 0-1. Swung on and missed by Mitchell. 0-2 quickly. That's 82 pitches for Kern. You look at the speeds, and he really hasn't lost any velocity, so that's the encouraging part. Seems to have a lot left in the tank. 0-2. And here's a looper into the outfield. It's a base hit for Christian Mitchell. That is rolling into the gap. Mitchell now going to hustle for second. King with the throw. And it is a double for Christian Mitchell. As he goes opposite field, lifts one over the infield, perfectly placed between Skylar King in center and Jace Reinhardt in right. They eventually get to it, but it's an extra base hit for Mitchell, and Kern had been taking care of the middle of the order until that. Yeah, that's a 0-2 pitch.
outside, still on the white of the plate. Got to be a little bit better than that. So if he's going to go after that, it's got to be a foul ball or a swing and miss or a ball. And I think Kern would like to have that pitch back.
All right, here is Pitts, 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a fly out to center. First pitch, outside from Kern. 1-0. Five-3 Mountaineers. We're in the 6th here from Arlington. Kern checks second, delivers the 1-0, and that'll be in for a strike. Good pitch that had Pitts bend the knees a little bit. West Virginia with 5 runs in the 4th. Lead at 5-3. Here's the 1-1. Runner going to go second to third. Swing and foul off. 1-2 to Pitts. I think Mitchell would have reached third base.
Yeah, I think he had that. That's a good jump. And typically we would already seen a pickoff to second base. And that may have the Kern and the coaching staff put a few of those picks in.
Count is 1-2 with 1 out, and the pitch. Fouled back again. Cincinnati has out-hit West Virginia 7-3. Pickoff move to second. Oh, into the outfield, and it ricochets, but they're going to hold the runner at second base. As that one deflected off of the glove of Gavin Kelly into the outfield. It was not a straight path into no man's land, so runner stays put, and Griffin Kern does not have to pay. Runner on second, 1 out, in a 2-run game. And now Coach Sabins is going to come out and visit Griffin Kern, who didn't even see Coach Sabes walking out to him.
Well, Sabes is going to talk to the whole infield here. There's going to be no pitching change. There's nobody warming up in that Mountaineer bullpen.
Mm-hmm.
Talking about pitch selection. If he does still holding your position, that way you're not vacating a spot in the infield. Quick visit.
Just to slow things down, I think. All right, 1 out. Pitts at the plate. Competitive at-bat here with a 1-2 count. Mitchell takes his lead off of second base. Cincinnati would love to make this a 1-run game. And the 1-2. Swing and miss. Strike 3. Strikes out Pitts. And there's 2 gone with Mitchell on second base. Now Loudon Brooks will try and extend this inning for the Bearcats. Hitting just .226 on the year with 20 RBI in this 2-run game. This is the time where you got to take care of business here. O'Connor and Ford, who are up next, have also hit Griffin Kern already. Pickoff move to second, and Mitchell will be back safely. 5-3 Mountaineers, bottom of the 6th coming up after this inning. We're in the top half. That's when West Virginia will hit. Leadoff taken by Mitchell. Kern checks him. Here's the first pitch. Brooks takes a strike on the outside edge. 0-1. Kern set. The 0-1. Brooks flies out. Right field. Reinhardt on it. Reinhardt under it. And he will make the catch and strand one in scoring position for the Bearcats. Loudon Brooks flies out. And it is a 0 tossed up by Griffin Kern to keep it A 2-run West Virginia lead will head to the bottom of the 6th. 5-3 Mountaineers here in this Big 12 tournament quarterfinal on MSN.
Comes to a gun suicide attempt, all it takes is a moment.
Heather and I had an argument just like any other couple. I was lost. I had snapped. I had a gun and I was going to take my own life. Heather helped me realize that there was still a life to live for the better of myself, my family. My weapon is now safely put away.
A moment of crisis can happen to anyone. Store your guns, locked, unloaded, and away from ammo. Hear more safe stories at endfamilyfire.org. Brought to you by Brady and the Ad Council.
You say you'd never give in to a meltdown and never fill your feed with kid photos. You say you'd never put a pacifier in your mouth to clean it and never let them run wild through the grocery store. So when you say you'd never let them get into a car without you there, know it can happen. 1 in 4 hot car deaths happen when a kid gets into an unlocked car and can't get out. Never happens. Before you leave the car, always stop, look, lock. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
West Virginia Baseball is brought to us by Bowling Insurance Services, West Virginia's insurance agent with Erie Insurance on their team. And also on SiriusXM, Channel 84 is where you can get a free trial at SiriusXM.com, College Sports Radio 2025. That's the / onto it. You get live games plus interviews and analysis, so cheer along on the SiriusXM app as well. West Virginia will have Gavin Kelly, Grant Hussey, and Brody Kresser, 7, 8, and 9 to hit and try and add on to this West Virginia lead. It's just 2 runs in the 6th inning. 2 runs against a pesky Cincinnati team does not feel entirely safe, Jake.
Definitely not enough. Need to continue having good at-bats and find a way to score.
Kelly line drive over the head of the shortstop Loudon Brooks and into the outfield. It's a leadoff single for the freshman Gavin Kelly. He gets his first hit of the day.
That's a good start there. I bet Sam White's thinking, why can't... I could have got one just a couple inches higher, too. It's a good piece by Gavin there to get this half inning started.
Now, Grant Hussey is 1 for 2, and probably one of the more unconventional ways to get a hit. Hussey had actually chopped it back to relief pitcher Butchkowski, who took that off his face and had to leave the game. So here's Hussey with a runner on first and nobody out. Mountaineers leading 5-3 in the 6th. Pickoff move headed towards Gavin Kelly, and it'll be given back to the relief pitcher here, Shire, who has settled in, struggled a little bit, walking in a run, but has gone 1 1/3. No runs to him, 1 hit. Next pitch is outside to Hussey, 1-0. That was the first pitch that he allowed, or the first hit that he allowed, rather. Gavin Kelly will lead things off here in the 6th. Mountaineers have Kresser on deck. A 1-0. Low for a ball. Kelly takes his lead off. It is a 5-3 Mountaineer lead in the 6th. And the pitch. Hussey misses it. 2-1. Shire originally pitched at Saginaw Valley State.
Michigan.
For 4 years. Before coming to Cincinnati. Another pickoff move to first. Kelly back safely. Of course, Jordan Bischel, head coach for Cincinnati at Central Michigan, before accepting the job here with the Bearcats. This is year 2 for Bischel, and his team is obviously hoping to extend their postseason run, maybe get a bid to the NCAA tournament. They are 32-23. West Virginia has been around there a couple times before, right? You know how uncertain that future looks like. Win here against the 1 seed, West Virginia, and outright champions in the Big 12 would go a long way for RPI purposes and everything else. Optics, 2-1. Inside to Hussey, 3-1. Cincinnati does not have any other reliever warming up in the bullpen either. So this is Shire's game at the moment. 2-run Mountaineer lead, 5-3. 3-1 to Hussey on the way. Hussey takes a strike, throws down to first. Kelly gets back safely. 3-2. concepts of a delayed steal maybe for Gavin Kelly on that pitch down to Husbus.
It's a sneaky play by Natili, kind of coming out in front like he's going to throw it back to the pitcher. And pretty quick throw to first.
All right, count is full, nobody out. Kelly on first. Here's the payoff pitch. Kelly goes. It's a pitch low for a ball, and Kelly's going to be safe because it's ball 4 to Grant Hussey. First and second, nobody out for the Mountaineers here in the 6th.
That's a good at-bat by Hussey. I think, we've seen Hussey now. This is his 4th year in a Mountaineer uniform. How many times would he have swung at that in the previous years? Him and Wes both have really shown a lot of plate discipline and elevated their games as seniors. You got to bunt Kresser right here, right?
Brody with a sac fly RBI and a pop-up his first 2 times up. He shows bunt. Kresser leaves it go. Ends up taking a strike, 0-1. That's why we keep you around. Thought he should have held that there?
Just got to put it down, get it on.
Yep. 2 on, nobody out. Next pitch to Brody, bunt shown, pulled back. Strike taken again on a fastball, and he'll quickly fall behind 0-2. Yeah, those are 2 really well-executed pitches by Shire. When off-speed is one kind of dipped, looked like it was out of the zone, then fell in for a strike, and then sped him up with a fastball. Hard to judge. Now Kresser's got to fight from an 0-2. Pickoff move to second. Kelly's back safely. Holding man Loudon Brooks there. Mountaineers leading 5-3 in the 6th here from the Big 12 tournament in Arlington. Got to score some more runs here, Wags, with this circumstance. 0-2. Outside. West Virginia has scored runs only in 1 inning thus far in this game. 5 runs in the 4th.
And out hit by 3, too.
Cincinnati's 7-4 hit advantage over the Mountaineers. Solo home run from Kyle West in the 4th was West Virginia's first hit. Next pitch, Kresser slaps one foul right side. Stays alive, 1-2.
Boy, Gavin Kelly had a really big secondary lead right there. It's wouldn't be surprised if you mix in a double steal here.
All right, first and second, nobody out. 1-2. Kresser leaves it go, 2-2, and a pitch outside. Brody scored West Virginia's 5th run of the game on the sac fly in that 4th inning where West Virginia played at 5. Pick off to second. Kelly back safely. Cincinnati with an answer in the 5th. Back-to-back hits to begin the inning for O'Connor and Ford. Carrington Cross hit into a double play, but O'Connor scored from 3rd, and then Natili hit a solo home run for 2 runs in the 5th for the Bearcats. Mountaineers lead by 2. See if Kresser can extend this at-bat. 2-strike pitch. Kresser ground ball through the infield. 6-hole. Kelly's going to score. Hussey ends up on second, and it's an RBI base hit for Brody Kresser.
There you go, Andrew. The Kresser special, the ground ball through the 6-hole. Tell you what, that's a really good at-bat. I mean, he's up there going into the at-bat to sack the runners over. Watches 2 strikes go by. Battles at the 2-2. Able to come through with the base hit. It's a nice game in the 9-hole so far by Kresser.
Yeah, ball placement was perfect away from the dive of Carrington Cross. If that is hit a little bit over one way or another, it's a double play. And West Virginia has extended the lead to 3.
That's what happens. You know, with the third baseman playing that up, it opens up the 6-hole.
All right, first pitch to King. He shows bunt, pops it up, though, and it's going to be caught by the catcher, Natili, for the first out.
Yeah, Schuyler just getting a little bit too antsy there. When you're sack bunting, you cannot move your feet from the box, as he was trying to get that down and beat the throw out. And that's what happened. You pop it up to the catcher.
Kyle West will get an at-bat here, always walking behind the batter's circle with that bat above his head, loosening up those shoulders and trying to blast one out of here again. Kyle West is 1 for 2 with a home run and a walk. 2 on, 1 out. First pitch to West from Shire, and it's a ball. 1-0. Mountaineers lead at 6-3 in the 6th inning. Trying to get their first ever win in Arlington and a program record 41st victory. (1-0), high for a ball.
I don't think Kyle West is going to get too many pitches to hit from here on out, especially with Reinhardt. 3 strikeouts already this game behind him.
Mm-hmm. First and second, 1 out. Shire checks second. Here's the pitch for a strike. Two balls, 1 strike to West. Mountaineers have extended the lead to 3 here in the 6th inning. And the 2-1 on the way. West misses it. 2-2. As he chased an inside pitch. Good movement there on it by Shire. Shire ready. And the pitch. Runners go. West swings, misses, and the throw down to third. He's safe. They missed the tag. Will they want to review this one as Kyle West strikes out, but the runners advance to second and third on the double steal by the Mountaineers. Hussey to second and Kelly to third. And Carrington Cross waving off the would-be review. Gavin Kelly, acrobatic maneuver. Not the first time we've seen him avoid a tag that should have been placed. And now West Virginia's got 2 in scoring position with Jace Reinhardt 0 for 3. First pitch. Rhino takes strike 1, 0-1. If you get a knock here from your RBI leader, it has the feelings of a kill shot. (0-1). Reinhardt fouled it back. 0-2. Base hit likely scores. Obviously Hussey from third, but Kresser at second as well with his speed.
He will be sent regardless if that ball's in the outfield.
All right, so Reinhardt, though, has fallen into an 0-2 hole rather quickly. West Virginia does not have any action in its bullpen. You imagine this is Griffin Kearns' next inning to pitch as we'll head into the 7th. We're in the bottom of the 6th. Mountaineers leading 6-3. 2 on in scoring position. Jace Reinhardt down to the count 0-2, trying to do what Kresser did. And the pitch. High pitch for ball 1. 1-2. (1-2) to Rhino. Fouled back. He'll stay alive. Jace went hitless in the series against Kansas. That was the first time in a Big 12 series he did not record a hit.
He's still looking for that hit.
Mm-hmm. Highly unusual, but there's never been a better time than right now. Next pitch. Ooh, just outside for a ball. 2-2. Oh for his last 14. Still batting .328. And the pitch. Reinhardt fouls it off again. Stays alive at 2-2. Mountaineers leading 6-3 in the 6th. RBI single from Kresser, scoring Kelly. And King popped up a bunt and West struck out. Shire comes set. The 2-2. Just outside for ball 3. The count is now full to Jace Reinhardt with Sam White on deck. Reinhardt may be a little lucky to not get rung up.
Well, he's laid off two really good pitches that, man, they were really close. Just like that first at bat when he got struck out looking.
Payoff pitch. Reinhardt fouled it back. The longer this at-bat goes on, the better you feel about it, because when Reinhardt had been struggling in this 0-for stretch, they have been quick at-bats. They've not been lengthy. Second and third, 2 outs. And the 3-2. Ball 4 to Jace Reinhardt. He took that one high. It was always going to be a ball. And he battles to get on base and load him up for Sam White here in the 6th.
You know, that's encouraging. When you're in a slump in a 0-for-14 streak, you look at, like you said, are you having good at-bats? Are they quick at-bats? Are you seeing, what are you swinging at? And he took a couple of really good pitches, but you can tell he's still locked in. He still knows the zone. It's there. It's going to come at some point. It's going to come big.
All right, this is the time you get the feeling that Sam White's due for one here. Strikeout, hit by a pitch, and a line out. Best contact in the last couple of games for Sam in his last AB. First pitch from Shire is a strike, 0-1. Mountaineers lead it by 3 in the 6th. Two outs. Shire delivers. White takes another strike. 0-2. Sam is 1 for his last 12. Has the bases loaded, though. And the pitch. Fouled it back. Sam White this season likes hitting with 2 outs and the bases loaded. With 2 outs, he's hitting .345. With the bases loaded, he's hitting .667. So you read into those numbers a little bit. Limited sample size, but that's at least 2 out of 3. 0-2. White fouled it off. We're in the bottom of the 6th. Mountaineers lead it 6-3. Bases loaded with the junior from Ontario, Sam White, against Shire. The righty delivers the 2-strike pitch, fouled back again, 0-2. Look at that pitch count up for Shire. He has thrown 50-plus pitches now. Season for the Bearcats hangs on a knife's edge. Mountaineers by 3. They've got the bases loaded. 0-2 to White. And that's a fastball outside. 1-2. All right, and the next pitch. White base hit right field. Multiple runs going to score for West Virginia. Here comes the throw home. Not in time. It is an RBI ×2 base hit for Sam White, and it's 8-3 West Virginia.
Well, you just said it, Andrew. When White has 2 outs with the bases loaded, hits at a pretty good clip, adds to that average. Boy, that's ball is low and in. White goes down, puts the barrel on it. Those are 2 big 2-out runs by the junior DH. Much needed base knock for Sam White.
Hussey scores. Presser scores. 2 RBI base hit for Sam White, and the Mountaineer lead is 8-3. 5 runs in the bottom of the 6th is the advantage for West Virginia. And here's Logan Sabe. First pitch to him. That's a strike from Shire. West Virginia had the 4-run lead. And this is now their largest lead of the game. That 4-run lead coming in the 4th. Sabe swings and misses at the next pitch. 0-2. 8-3 West Virginia in the 6th. Next pitch. Save, fly ball into the outfield. Coming up on it, Donovan Ford. He's underneath it, and he makes the catch, which will get West Virginia done in this 6th inning. But the Mountaineers plate 3 in the 6th. They lead 8-3, and we'll head to the 7th on the Mountaineers Sports Network. Big knock from Brody Kresser and Sam White, driving some runs for Mountaineers on MSN.
Casey Bowling here, your 2006 WVU Baseball Team MVP. I'm president of Bowling Insurance Services, West Virginia's insurance agency. Erie Insurance is on our team, and with their rates and coverage, together we're a sure home run. Born and raised in West Virginia, played for West Virginia, I live and proudly run my business in West Virginia. I am a Mountaineer, and I'd be honored to have your business. Please visit us at bowlinginsurancewv.com for a no-obligation quote. Auto, home, business, and life insurance.
If there's not a Par-Mar store near you now, there will be soon. You hear us say that a lot, but it's true. Wherever you may go, chances are you'll find a Par-Mar store there, offering everything you need to get you in and then back on the road as soon as possible. From gas to groceries and snacks and items for your house, we have it at Par-Mar stores. Download the app and sign up for the Par-Mar Rewards Card too. West Virginia, Kentucky, Ohio, Maryland, Pennsylvania, and Virginia. If there's not a Par-Mar store near you now, there will be soon.
This is West Virginia University Baseball, presented by Bowling Insurance Services on MSN, the Mountaineers Sports Network. Here again, Andrew Caridi.
Well, hopefully the West Virginia offense has turned the corner as they lead this game by 5 runs in the 7th against the Cincinnati Bearcats. Griffin Kern is back on the bump dealing for West Virginia. Mountaineer Baseball brought to us by Bowling Insurance Services. Well, how about it? You get some RBI hits from Brody Kresser, Grant Hussey, Spencer Barnett, Sam White, Kyle West, all in this game. That is more of your lineup than less of your lineup after West Virginia really struggled in the last couple of games offensively. Hopefully that is what we're seeing, the corner being turned.
It's just good to get, especially 2 strike, 2 out base hits that drive runs in, and it just, I think that confidence in that dugout's just way higher than it has been in some time.
Right, here's Tommy O'Connor. I'll take a first pitch strike from Griffin Kern, 0-1. O'Connor and Ford and Cross will be the hitters up for Cincinnati. 8-9-1. O'Connor has 2 hits against Griffin Kern. Ford has 1. Next pitch, O'Connor pops it up in the infield. Save ripped his mask off, but Kern is up to it and catches the pop-up.
Yes, Andrew, my favorite play, the pop-up to the pitcher. They're athletes, too. Atta baby.
Griffin Kern made that look easy. Took about 10 feet from his mound and walked up, caught that pop-up. That doesn't happen too often.
No, it doesn't. You typically get called off, but, that's the easier play. Although Salve would have had that all the way. That's take him any way you can.
Our leadoff man taken care of for the Bearcats here in the 7th. First pitch to Ford. He'll swing and miss. 8-3 Mountaineers in the 7th inning. West Virginia has been out-hit 7-6, but has made Cincinnati pay for the free passes. Next pitch. Strike. 0-2. It's like the West Virginia of old, right? Last couple of weeks have not been the West Virginia offense that we saw in the middle parts of the season where, the hit total could be low, but the hits that you had were opportunistic. Ford takes the next pitch inside, 1-2.
Well, they're hitting with 2 outs. They're getting on. We've seen stolen bases. I don't think we had maybe 1 stolen base in the whole Kansas series, so you're kind of getting back to that offense that we've seen all year long.
1-2 from Kern. Breaker, just misses high. Thought that was strike 3. 2-2 instead. 1 out, the base is empty for Donovan Ford. West Virginia is able to win this game. They will get the Arizona Wildcats tomorrow at 5 o'clock Eastern Time. Pre-game begins at 4:45. 2-2 to Ford. Just off the end of the bat foul.
you do have Chase Meyer. Although he's not throwing a baseball in the bullpen, he's throwing that football, trying to get that arm loose.
Noted. Two from Griffin. Ooh, slapped foul right across the back of Carrington Cross in the on-deck circle. Griffin Kern has eclipsed that 90 pitch count. Maybe coming up to 100 here soon. And the 2-2 to Ford. Fastball fouled back.
You got to watch that pitch count. That's his 99th pitch. After the past couple of outings, he has been elevated there. So got to take a look at that. I know you want to win this ball game. The bullpen hasn't been favorable to you, but you definitely need him next week.
Here comes pitch number 100 for Griffin Kern. The 2-2. Low. Count is now full. So that is 2 games in a row that Griffin Kern has gone over 100 pitches. We're in the 7th. Imagine this is his last inning of work. Has had success against Carrington Cross, who's on deck. Payoff pitch, fouled off again. This is feeding Cincinnati with a little bit of energy, too. Mountaineers lead it 8-3 in the 7th. Kern looks in. Coming set. Here comes the 3-2. Off speed, struck him out. And Ford with a very tenacious at-bat, but goes down swinging.
That's a good battle right there and a good baseball game. You got a Kern who's pitching really well, and you got another guy that really pesky there at the plate. That's a good win. A good second out for Kern. You can see he showed a little bit of motion after that, kind of clenched his fist.
Here's Carrington Cross. Walk, strikeout, and grounding out into a double play. First pitch. Cross fouled it back. Kern has had success getting ahead on Carrington Cross. Did walk him in the first at-bat, but since then it has been Kern beating Carrington Cross. 2 outs, bases empty in the 7th. Here's the pitch. Cross shows bunt, pulls it back. 1-1.
I'd say let him bunt all day long, but with Natilli on deck, the rate he's been going, which one do you want to face right now?
Yeah, true. Good point. Here comes the 1-1. Away, 2-1. Next pitch, hit into the air, right field. It's a fly ball, hit to Reinhardt. He's underneath it, and he makes the catch. And Carrington Cross taking care of it as a 1-2-3 inning for Griffin Kern. And a skip, hop, and a jump over to the dugout. Mountaineers 8, Cincinnati 3, bottom of the 7th, and we come back from Globe Life Field in Arlington on MSN.
The possibility of lung cancer can be pretty scary, especially if you're one of approximately 8 million current or former smokers at high risk. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know that now there's a breakthrough low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early, and it only takes 60 seconds. You stop smoking, now start screening. For an easy quiz to see if you're eligible, visit SaveByTheScan.org. It could save your life. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
I'm a pretty great multitasker. I can wash dishes and do laundry. I can roller skate while walking my dog. I can even order lunch while doing my homework. But I can't use my phone while driving. A distracted driver is one of the leading causes of death in the United States. So when it comes to driving, please, don't be a multitasker.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Our new pitcher on for the Cincinnati Bearcats. It'll be West Virginia with Spencer Barnett, Gavin Kelly, and Grant Hussey getting some ABs here. West Virginia has the 5-run lead despite being out-hit 7-6. It has been the same opportunistic clutch offense for the Mountaineers showing up here in this Big 12 tournament that we have seen for the larger part of the entire season. So now pitching for Cincinnati is going to be the lefty, Ty Barnett, 5'11", 163-pound freshman from Athens, Tennessee here to go to work against 6, 7, and 8. Wiggs.
Yeah, Barnett comes into the game, 13th appearance, has 4 starts. ERA of 3.46. He's done 13 innings this year, giving up 9 runs on 10 hits, 5 walks, 7 strikeouts. Opponent's only hitting 208 against the left-hander. And Barnett to lead off this bottom of the 7th.
All right, Barnett looking for his second hit of the game. He is 1 for 3 with an infield RBI single. First pitch to Barnett from Barnett. It's inside for a ball. Put 2 and 2 together. I want you to know we have Tyler Barnett on the ESPN Plus broadcasts for home games. Next pitch to Spencer. Low for a ball. This is one of the more quality relievers used by Cincinnati here when it comes to ERA. 3.46. Actually better than Nathan Taylor, who's that elite starter for Cincinnati who we saw yesterday against Texas Tech. 2-0. Spencer Barnett fouls it back.
And typically this might have been a situation where you would have seen Chase Swain come in against this left-handed pitcher, but I think you leave Barnett out there for the defense at this point in the ballgame.
Mm-hmm. Since you're up 5, here's the 2-1. Good take there from Barnett. It's outside, 3-1. West Virginia sent up 10 hitters in the 4th and 8 hitters in the 6th. 2-1. Actually, 3-1 is outside for a ball. And it'll be a leadoff walk issued here by Tyler Barnett. Ty Barnett. To Spencer Barnett. I would imagine that his birth certificate does not say Ty.
Probably doesn't, but it could.
It could. Our Gavin Kelly. That leadoff single in the 6th for West Virginia will have the opportunity to hit again in the 7th. Mountaineers leading 8-3. Here's the pitch to Kelly. And that's a strike, 0-1. Spencer Barnett will take his lead off. 0-1. Kelly fouls it off. Gavin Kelly's batting average is over 300. And the all-freshman team member in the Big 12 picked up a hit today. He is 1 for 3. 0-2. Fouls off again, right side.
Gavin's really had a really good freshman year. You know, he started out catching a little bit, played a little bit of left field, settled in at second base. A good bright spot in the. I think he's batted just about everywhere in this order.
Mm-hmm. Nobody out. 0-2 count. Pitch from Barnett. Kelly fouls it off as he went reaching in on that low and inside pitch. He'll stay alive.
Has the one lone home run of the year early on in that Oklahoma State opposite field shot.
Joe Mock, who's with us in the booth.
Well, you had an interesting weekend there.
Yeah, we did. (0-2). Kelly fouled it off again, right side. He's getting good pieces on these, just not putting it into playable territory. We're in the bottom of the 7th. Mountaineers lead at 8-3 here in this Big 12 tournament quarterfinal. Barnett on first. Barnett deals. Kelly base hit left field. And West Virginia's got 2 aboard here with nobody out in the bottom of the 7th inning. Multi-hit game for Gavin Kelly.
Hey, what another really good at bat, falling down early and just fouling off enough pitches to finally get his pitch, and that ball is driven into left field. Really good piece by the freshman.
And we'll see what Grant Hussey can do here. He shows bunt. First pitch, bunt laid down, third base side. It's a good bunt. Sliding play by Natili. Throw to first, not in time. Hussey's going to be safe, and the bases are loaded for the Mountaineers.
Boy, Andrew, I know at big league ballparks the grounds crew is exceptional, but boy, I think if he would have let that go, that had a chance to roll off the turf onto that dirt and possibly go foul. But nonetheless, nice little bunt there from Hussey. As the last week he tried to do that and fouled out. He couldn't get that bunt down. It's good to see the big man get that down in a team at bat.
First pitch to Brody Kresser. Hits one into the outfield. Underneath at Ford with nobody out and the bases loaded. Runners will tag ups. Third to home and second to third. Here's a close play at third base, but safe is Gavin Kelly. And scoring is Spencer Barnett to make it 9-3. Another sac fly RBI for Brody Kresser. That is his 3rd run batted in of the game as Barnett comes home to score and the West Virginia lead is extended.
Yeah, really good out of that 9-hole. 2 sac flies today and an RBI single. That's the kind of production you need out of your senior 9-hole hitter. Kresser just really impressive today.
All right, Skylar King, first and third with 1 out. Mountaineers have extended their lead with another run. West Virginia has scored runs in 3 of the last 4 innings. And here's a meeting on the mound between Barnett and his catcher, Natili.
How about that throw from the right fielder? Ford.
Yeah.
To third base.
That's a heck of a throw. Yeah.
You know, he's fast. He's really good, but when he slides, it's almost, he gets that foot in really quick. And that was, I think, a lot closer than everyone else thought it was going to be. Because if he's not going full speed, he is gunned out from right field.
You're telling me Logan Save wouldn't have been able to tag up from second to third there?
I think Gavin's got a little bit longer gait than Save.
All right, here's King first and third. And a first pitch is a strike to Skyler. 9-3 Mountaineers in the bottom of the 7th. Game all changed when Kyle West hit that solo home run in the 4th. King, ground ball hit to second slowly. Fielding it and throwing to first for the out is Mitchell, but that comes at the cost of another run scoring. That'll make it 10 for West Virginia. Kelly scores. King grounds out.
Well, I think Mitchell might have had a shot to get that lead out Hussey, because Hussey kind of slowed and chopped his feet in front of that baseball. Kind of blind that vision with Mitchell, and you like getting that run across, and you still got a runner in scoring position with West.
Kyle is 1 for 3 with a home run. Hussey on second, 2 outs. Mountaineers have led now since the 4th inning. It is 10-3 West Virginia, 7-run cushion that they'll have into the 8th. 2 outs, 1 on second, that's Hussey. Next pitch. Fouled back by West, 1-1. West Virginia can hold on to this lead. It is a 5 o'clock meeting with the Arizona Wildcats tomorrow in the Big 12 tournament semifinal. You move on with 1 win, you're out with 1 loss. (1-1). Nice breaking pitch, just missed inside from Barnett. 2-1. Next pitch, 2-1 outside for a ball. Count is 3-1. Hitters count to one of the dangerous hitters in the country, Kyle West. He picked up his 10th home run earlier today. 3-1 pitch. West let it go for ball 4. Good take there, and West has drawn his 2nd walk of the game here in the 7th.
It's a really interesting at-bat coming up here, Andrew.
It is. But it looks like we'll get a pitching change here with Barnett struggling with his accuracy. Jordan Bischel, head coach for Cincinnati, will come out. Have a reliever making his way to the door, and they will make the pitching change. So Bearcats will go to the pen with West Virginia leading 10-3 in the bottom of the 7th. 2 on, 2 outs. We'll get you that new reliever when we come back. It's Mountaineer Baseball, up 7 on MSN.
It's Casey Bowling here, your 2006 WVU Baseball Team MVP. I'm president of Bowling Insurance Services, West Virginia's insurance agency. Erie Insurance is on our team, and with their rates and coverage, together we're a sure home run. Born and raised in West Virginia, played for West Virginia, I live and proudly run my business in West Virginia. I am a Mountaineer, and I'd be honored to have your business. Please visit us at bowlinginsurancewv.com for a no-obligation quote. Auto, home, business, and life insurance.
From foul pole to foul pole, listen to the first weekend of the NCAA Division I Baseball Championship with the Regional Rundown Show. If you've ever wished for a radio version of NFL Red Zone, but for college baseball, then allow us to put it on a tee for you.
Live on the Varsity Network app. Join our crew starting Friday, May 30th as we go game to game across the 16 regional sites. We'll have the live hometown radio call, highlights, scores, and reactions.
Dive head first into the Regional Rundown beginning Friday, May 30th, exclusively on the Varsity Network app.
I'm Doug Leach, founder and CEO of Ascension Recovery Services. We've done a number of projects with Jarrett Construction. Finding people that really care about what they do and care about what we do is pretty unique. In Jarrett Construction, they care. They're really, really good people. Good people do the right thing, and they're very skilled. They have all the qualities that make up just a perfect construction partner, and they just built us a phenomenal building.
Right on time, right on budget. Call on Jarrett Construction.
This is West Virginia University Baseball, presented by Bowling Insurance Services on MSN, the Mountaineers Sports Network.
All right, new reliever coming on. The 6th pitcher used in the game by Cincinnati, Yoel Pinheiro, redshirt junior from Miami, Florida, 6'1" righty. Will come into the game and try and get out of here, Wiggs.
He comes in for his 18th appearance, 2-3, the 6.87 ERA. He's thrown at 36 2/3. Giving up 29 runs on 44 hits, just 11 walks, 27 strikeouts. Opponents hitting just under 300 at 299. Just like the way the at-bats are going, and your one swing of the bat here could call it early. So I'm pretty sure there's a run rule in tournament games. I'm just going to take a stab at it. There would be nobody better than Reinhardt just to
couldn't agree more.
Send one right here. And
so Steve Sabins will come out, and
they have a pinch hitter.
I was going to say, good call on your part.
Looks like Ben Lumsden.
Yep, Ben Lumsden will get an at-bat for Jace Reinhardt. Switch things up a little bit, get a left-handed stick out there against the right-handed throwing Pinheiro.
I don't mind it. Yep. Reinhardt has definitely been struggling quite a bit, And you got to think with this kind of lead, you're going to see Lumsden go out in the outfield at some point anyway for defensive purposes. So see if old Benny Baum's here and get one through.
He's got an ability of hitting in big games. He homered at PNC Park last year. See if he can hit a home run at 2 major league parks. All right, Ben will step in. First and second, 2 outs. First pitch, Lumsden swings and fouls it back. Mountaineers have the 10-3 lead here in the bottom of the 7th. Has been a complete reversal of fortunes for the Mountaineer offense. (0-1) to Ben. Strike. 0-2. West Virginia sent just 1 over the minimum in the first 3 innings of the game. That was a walk to Skylar King in the first. And since the 4th inning, West Virginia has sent up a ton of guys every inning except for the 5th. 0-2, low for a ball. Mountaineers sent up 10 in the 4th, 8 in the 6th, and now 7 in the 7th. West Virginia leading 10-3, 10 runs on 8 hits. Cincinnati 3 runs on 7 hits. First and second, Guzman the pinch runner at first, Hussey at second. Next pitch, Lumsden, fly ball center field. Up on it, Pitts. He's underneath it, and he makes the catch for the final out of the 7th. But West Virginia tacks on another pair of runs. 2 in the 7th. We'll head to the 8th. The Mountaineers leading 10-3 on MSN.
You always win when you fly from the North Central West Virginia Airport, the official airport of WVU Athletics. With 2 airlines, multiple nonstop options, and a brand new terminal coming soon, CKB has it all. Visit flyckb.com today.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End of friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you're planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill.
Celebrate responsibly. 2025 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Mountaineer fans, it's always a home run when you fly from the North Central West Virginia Airport, the official airport of WVU Athletics. With 2 airlines, multiple nonstop options, and a brand new terminal coming soon, CKB has it all. Visit flyckb.com today.
WVU Baseball is presented all season long by Bowling Insurance Services, West Virginia's insurance agent. Once again, here's Andrew Caridi.
All right, West Virginia heads into the 8th inning up by 7 runs. Feeling good. You'll get Natilli, Coates, and Sefcik going to work here against West Virginia starter Griffin Kern, who's going to stay throwing for the Mountaineers. Kern has thrown 106 pitches, 7 innings, 3 runs, 7 hits, only 1 walk, and 8 strikeouts. So he's faced 28 batters. The legs, when those walks are low and strikeouts are relatively high, you ride that arm as long as he's feeling all right.
Yeah, but he's throwing the ball well. He hadn't showed signs where his stuff is dipped down. You're going to need another good inning here. A couple of defensive changes for the Mountaineers. Ben Lumsden remains in the game at left field. And Lumsden in right, Armani Guzman in left for West.
All right, here is Natilli. First pitch from Kern is low for a ball. Natilli has liked hitting against Griffin Kern today. Natilli is 3 for 3. Next pitch, he swings and misses at the off-speed 1-1. Triple off of the cycle, Legs.
Yeah, you've seen a lot of them this tournament too, with how big these gaps are at Globe Life.
You think anything to right center. Rolling to that 4-10. And here is a fair ball down the third base line on a line drive. Going to be picked up here by Guzman. And it'll be a double for Natilli as he leads off with an extra base hit. He has been the player of the game for either of these teams. That is a 4-hit day with 3 extra base hits.
He's swinging the bat well and definitely has Kern's number today.
Well, the good news is the rest of these hitters, Coates, Sefcik, Mitchell, Pitts, and Brooks, really don't. They have one hit between them, and that was a double by Mitchell. Here is Quentin Coates. First pitch to him. Low ball from Kern. Mountaineers lead by 7 here in the 8th. West Virginia looking for a 41st win of the year. Here's the pitch, outside. Mountaineers have never won 41 games in a season. And Steve Sabins is now going to walk out to Griffin Kern, and this could be it for Griffin.
I don't think he's just talking to him a little bit. I don't think he's going to get him yet. Tyler Hudson, playing a little light catch in the bullpen, hasn't really towed the rubber to warm up yet.
Okay.
I think you go out there and challenge your left-handed hitter and go after this middle part of the order. You definitely don't want it to roll around again before the end of this game. You've seen Cincinnati in multiple games able to put up a lot of runs late in the game all year long. And they've maintained that energy in that dugout. A little bit less, but they're still all up on their feet at the edge of the dugout.
You got to feel like Sefcik has to reach here to get any sort of hope, as the next pitch misses outside from Kern, 3-0. Because you can add on pressure by getting some runners on, but there also has to be fewer than 2 outs to really keep that fear in the back of West Virginia's mind. 3-0 pitch, strike, 3-1. Mountaineers 10-3 lead in the 8th. (3-1). Here's a fly ball to left field. Underneath it, Guzman at the track, and he will make the catch. Dangerous looking fly ball off the bat of Coates, but Armani Guzman gets underneath it, as that one is hit about 350.
Long, loud out, stayed in the park. That'd have been a hefty shot at Kendrick Family Ballpark.
Yeah.
I think you take a look at that, too. I know they're outs here, but they're getting good, starting to get more barrel on it. And that was pitch number 114 for Kern.
Kern checks second, where the lead runner, Natili, is on. First pitch, Sefcik fouled back. 0-1.
Kern's thrown 82 strikes at 115 pitches so far.
You love that.
It's pretty efficient.
Mountaineers lead 10-3 in the 8th. And the pitch. Line drive, right field. Lumsden tracking it to the track. He makes the catch. Runner going to tag up second to third to Tilly. There's 2 outs picked up by Griffin Kern. 2 gone in the 8th. 2 quick outs picked up. That was not easy for Ben Lumsden on a very hard-hit fly ball.
I'll tell you what, baseball is a funny game. When you enter a baseball game, you better be ready to go, as every ball this inning has found Guzman or Lumsden at some point. Nice job by Kern battling here after that leadoff double.
Christian Mitchell is 1 for 3. First pitch, fouled back. 0-1. Yeah, how about that? So Guzman and Lumsden come into the game. Left field, right field, get the first 2 outs. And the double hit by Natili as well was Armani Guzman's to handle. Next pitch, fly ball to left. There is Guzman again. He's underneath it, and he will make the catch. Fly ball outs picked up here by Kern in the 8th, and it stays West Virginia 10-3, bottom of the 8th, coming up. chance for the Mountaineer offense to tack some on before the top of the ninth and sealing things up. You're listening to Mountaineer Baseball for the Big 12 tournament on MSN.
All right, son. Time to put out this campfire.
Dad, we learned about this in school.
Oh, did you now? Okay. What's first?
Smokey Bear said to.
First drown it with a bucket of water, then stir it with a shovel.
Wow, you sound just like him.
Then he said.
If it's still warm, then do it again.
Where can I learn all this?
It's all on SmokeyBear.com with other wildfire prevention tips, because only you can prevent wildfires.
Brought to you by the USDA Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Hi, I'm Ryan Blaney, a third-generation race car driver, and I dedicate a lot of my time going fast. But when my grandpa was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, it was a very unexpected bump in the road for us. It's important to notice if older family members are acting differently or having trouble with routine tasks. Early detection of Alzheimer's can give your family time to explore support services and access available treatments. If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together. Visit alz.org/time-to-talk. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
All right, welcome back to Arlington as we begin this 8th inning here on MSN. West Virginia will head to the bottom of the 8th. Looking to tack on some insurance legs. It has been a stark contrast for the Mountaineers here at Globe Life Field, not only for the Big 12 tournament and how it's been the last couple of years for West Virginia, but obviously you took, heed knowing that you had to get something changed offensively after you were shut out twice in 3 games against Kansas, and bring that down to Arlington, and it has been a reversal of fortunes by West Virginia because they've scored 10 runs in this game. They lead by 7. It is a West Virginia offense of old, I think. Opportunistic, advantageous, coming up clutch, and it's been the upperclassmen leading you.
It's been some time since we've seen some quality base hits, patience when you need it at the plate. Just... it feels good. I know it feels good up here with us watching this, but you got to think it's doing wonders for the confidence.
No question. Sam White will lead off here for West Virginia. It'll be White, Save, and Barnett. Sam picked up a 2 RBI base hit in the 6th. West Virginia scored 3 runs in that inning, 2 runs in the 7th, and then the big 5-run 4th. Next pitch to White. Here's a fly ball hit to left, charging in on it Sefcik. He'll try and track it. He does track it. He's underneath it, makes the catch just outside of foul territory, or fair territory, rather. Right up on that wall. That is definitely interesting in how this ballpark was designed, because the foul line literally hugs the wall. You don't have that space like you do at Kendrick Family Ballpark outside to make plays,
That's part of the home field advantage for the Texas Rangers. I mean, they know how to play it, and you have teams that come in that haven't seen it.
Here's Logan Save. Logan takes pitch inside for ball 1. Just going over the guys who've made an impact on this game. Kyle West, 2 walks and a solo home run. It was really West's home run in the 4th that tied the game at 1. Next pitch from Save, low, that I think galvanized the West Virginia offense, because West was the leadoff hitter in the 4th, and then West Virginia ended up sending up 10 in that half inning. Now, you did get some free passes, some hit-by pitches, and some walks. 2-1 to Save is inside for a ball. 3-0, I beg your pardon. But it wasn't exactly a hit parade in that 4th inning, even though West Virginia scored 5 runs. Next pitch is a strike to Save, 3-1. Had some infield singles by Spencer Barnett. You had Grant Hussey chop one back to the pitcher and hit him in the face and had, forced him to leave the game. Save, weakly hit ground ball to third. Cross has got it scooped up. He'll throw to first for the out. There's 2 gone. Spencer Barnett will get an at-bat now. Brody Kresser, also huge game along with Grant Hussey. Kresser with 3 RBI, including a RBI single, and Grant Hussey as well with a 2-hit effort today and an RBI knock. So Jordan Bishop with 2 outs and the base is empty, with the Mountaineers leading 10-3, is going to come out and visit his pitcher. He's
got a lefty coming in the game.
All right. Pitching change coming up for the Bearcats with 2 outs and the bases empty. Piniero's done. We'll get you that change when we come back on MSN.
Our store near you now, there will be soon. You hear us say that a lot, but it's true. Wherever you may go, chances are you'll find a Parmar store there, offering everything you need to get you in and then back on the road as soon as possible. From gas to groceries and snacks and items for your house, we have it at Parmar stores. Download the app and sign up for the Parmar Rewards Card too. West Virginia, Kentucky, Ohio, Maryland, Pennsylvania, and Virginia. If there's not a Parmar store near you now, there will be soon.
At United Bank, banking means more than financial solutions. It means rallying around the causes that are important to our customers, employees, and communities. While we have grown in size and presence, we have never forgotten our roots. By giving back to our local communities and funding business development, we help fuel economic growth. Our success is your success, because to us, this is home. United Bank, West Virginia's bank, proud to be united with the Mountaineers. Member FDIC.
A dream can begin with any play with the West Virginia Lottery. While every play can't be a winner, every play is a win for West Virginia. Since 1986, lottery proceeds have been invested in our future. More than $3.9 billion towards West Virginia education. Proceeds have helped pave the way for high school graduates to reach their higher education dreams with the Promise Scholarship. No, not every play is a winner, but every play is a win for West Virginia. Dream big, because when you play, West Virginia wins. Play in-store or online with the iPlay app.
Please play responsibly.
This is West Virginia University Baseball, presented by Bowling Insurance Services on MSN, the Mountaineers Sports Network.
In the bottom of the 8th, 3 outs. Will win it for West Virginia in the top of the 9th. What do we know about Hudson Johnson, the youngin?
Yeah, Johnson comes into the game, 22nd appearance, 4-2 with a 5.40 ERA. Does have 1 save. 35 innings pitched this year, giving up 25 runs on 40 hits. 14 walks, 30 strikeouts. Opponents hitting .274 against the left-hander. It looks like we might be getting a pinch hitter here. It looks like Chase Swain getting those batting gloves on and coming out here, going to hit for Spencer Barnett.
Okay. So Chase Swain, the junior from New Jersey, is going to replace Barnett. Spencer with a good day. Spencer struck out, had an RBI single in that 4th inning where West Virginia sent up, I correct myself, 11 batters. And then flew out in the 5th and walked in the 7th and scored a run in that 7th inning. So here's Chase Swain for the Mountaineers. They lead this Big 12 tournament quarterfinal 10-3. First pitch to Swain. That's strike 1. .313 hitter on the season is Swain. He takes a 4-game hit streak into the contest, but it's not a pure hit streak, I suppose, when you only get 1 at-bat in the game.
Yeah, I think what's really hurt Swain is third base.
Mm-hmm.
Has the ability to hit.
1-1, swing and miss, 1-2.
What I like about Swain, too, is he does have a violent swing. He's a wiry player. He's quick, really quick, twitched player.
Yeah, super athletic. Not always the case for baseball players. 1-2. Swain let it go for a ball. Outside, 2-2. Mountaineers with a 10-3 lead. 2-2. Away, 3-2. Payoff pitch with the bases empty. Swain swings and misses and strikes out. Mountaineers down in order in the 8th. We'll head to the top of the 9th. 3 outs for a berth into the semifinal and a program record 41st win. 10-3 Mountaineers, top of the 9th. They come back.
More than 3,000 people in the U.S. are on the waiting list for a heart transplant. Many others facing advanced heart failure don't know that a life-saving heart transplant is an option. No one should have to travel far for necessary medical treatment. That's why the WVU Medicine Transplant Alliance is pioneering new techniques and developing one-of-a-kind programs like heart transplant to serve West Virginians and others across our region. Visit wvumedicine.org/transplant.
At United Bank, banking means more than financial solutions. It means rallying around the causes that are important to our customers, employees, and communities. While we have grown in size and presence, we have never forgotten our roots. By giving back to our local communities and funding business development, we help fuel economic growth. Our success is your success, because to us, this is home. United Bank, West Virginia's bank, proud to be united with the Mountaineers. Member FDIC.
You're listening to West Virginia Baseball, presented by Bowling Insurance Services, West Virginia's insurance agent. Now back to Andrew Caridi for more Mountaineer Baseball.
Top of the ninth, West Virginia leading Cincinnati 10-3 in this Big 12 quarterfinal matchup. And this ninth inning will be Griffin Kearns to complete. This game will be Griffin Kearns to complete. The senior from Quincy has thrown 118 pitches and will face off against Pitts, Brooks, and O'Connor to hopefully finish this game.
Defensive changes for the Mountaineers. Ellis Garcia now enter the game for Swain at third base.
All right, Wiggs. Well, the question, why are we leaving Kern out here when we got to pitch him next week at a regional, which West Virginia is going to play in regardless of the outcome of the Big 12 tournament? The first pitch is fouled off by Pitts. Two reasons, I think. The West Virginia bullpen has not been instilling much confidence in you as a coaching staff as of late, and you only need 2 more wins for a Big 12 tournament title and potentially hosting. If Griffin Kern can get you 3 more outs here, you've got an entire bullpen to use that you maybe didn't have. Next pitch is swung on and missed 0-2 for Friday and Saturday.
Yeah, more rest for the bullpen. That about 3 or 4 guys have really been taxed this year.
Mountaineers lead 10-3 in the ninth. 0-2, swung on and missed. Kern struck him out.
Well, Kern has not lost a touch. I mean, a little bit. The velocity's gone down just a hair, but boy, he still looks strong at 121.
All right, Loudon Brooks is 0 for 3. Mountaineers lead this game 10-3. West Virginia has never won 41 games in a season. 2 outs changes that. First pitch to Brooks. Strike from Kern. I love that because now he's just throwing him in there and saying, here, if you're going to beat us, you got to hit this. There's no sense to middle around when you've got a 7-run lead in the ninth, 1 out, and the base is empty. Next pitch, inside, 1-1. West Virginia, and this result holds. They're playing tomorrow at 5 o'clock against Arizona in a Big 12 semifinal at the Big 12 tournament. 1-1. 2-1 on a high pitch missed by Kern. He threw 127 pitches last Thursday against Kansas and is set to eclipse that and get the complete game. Not sure we've seen that this season. 1-1. Tapper back to Kern. He fields it, turns to first, and puts it on the money for the out. West Virginia has also never won a game here in Arlington at the Big 12 tournament. This would be the first.
We have not won a game in the tournament either. Well, I always get reminded by the West Virginia coaching staff about that, too. Like, you're 0 for here, too.
That's fair. And in the history of MSN, actually, I don't think we've won a game in Arlington. 2 outs, base is empty for O'Connor. Kern has thrown 125 pitches. Dawson Hocuff will take a first pitch strike from Kern. 10-3 West Virginia. 2 outs in the ninth. The 1 seed looking to advance. Oh, 1 from Kern. Swung on and missed. It was a little louder than what the music has been here. 2 strikes Mountaineer dugout and the Mountaineer fans here in Arlington on their feet, trying to take care of Hocuff and sit down Cincinnati. 0-2 pitch outside, 1-2. A reversal of fortunes in the cards for West Virginia with the result here today. The 1-2. Tapper, pass Kern, in on it, Garcia, fields it, throws to first, it's a win in Arlington for the West Virginia Mountaineers. They've won 41 games for the first time in program history. 10-3 the final score from Globe Life Field, and it is a semifinal appearance for the outright Big 12 champions coming up tomorrow on MSN. West Virginia 10, Cincinnati 3. Mountaineer Extra Innings is next on MSN.
Kids ask their parents a lot of questions.
Why can't people fly?
Gravity.
Is the moon really made of cheese?
Yep, cream cheese.
When can I move into a big kid's car seat?
For some questions, parents may not have the answer, but that's okay. They can't know everything, but knowing the right seat for their age and size will help protect them in a car crash. Find out more at nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat.
Where do babies come from?
Good luck, Dad. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
When might you be buzzed? When you suddenly love everything.
You guys, I love this song. I love these nachos. I love our kickball league. Ugh! I love this guy. What's your name? You know what I'd love? A ride when it's time to head out.
If you see a buzzed warning sign, call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
I love your car. Is this real leather?
Up any play with the West Virginia Lottery. While every play can't be a winner, every play is a win for West Virginia. Since 1986, lottery proceeds have been invested in our future. More than $3.9 billion towards West Virginia education. Proceeds have helped pave the way for high school graduates to reach their higher education dreams with the Promise Scholarship. No, not every play is a winner, but every play is a win for West Virginia. Dream big, because when you play, West Virginia wins. Play in-store or online with the iPlay app.
Please play responsibly.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you're planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill.
Celebrate responsibly. 2025 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
My name's Chris Miller. I'm president of Dutch Miller Automotive. Jarrett Construction completely renovated and helped redesign Dutch Miller Kia in South Charleston. The fit and the finish and the quality of the project is exceptional. He has an attention to detail and an eye for that kind of stuff. You always want to give your best to your customer. It's just as important to him as it is to you. If you're ever looking to build anything, I'd call Jarrett Construction because you know exactly you're going to get something excellent every single time.
Call on Jarrett Construction.
Euro Suites Hotel is the perfect boutique hotel for your pre- and post-game stays in Morgantown. We're centrally located close to everything WVU and within walking distance to both the stadium and Coliseum. Euro Suites Hotel offers a wealth of amenities to ensure your stay is relaxing and convenient, including complimentary on-the-go breakfast and Wi-Fi. Our friendly and attentive staff is always available to help you make the most of your stay in Morgantown. To make a reservation, visit euro-suites.com. Euro Suites Hotel, where your comfort is our business.
To Mountaineer Baseball, presented by Bowling Insurance Services, returns in 60 seconds on MSN, the Mountaineers Sports Network.
When you're high, you feel different. You think different, you talk different, you draw different, you listen to music different, but you probably knew that. Problem is, you also drive different, and not in a good way. That's why driving high is illegal everywhere. So if you're high, just don't drive. Make a plan to get a sober ride. Because if you feel different, you drive different. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Are you prepared for an emergency or disaster? Because it's not a matter of if, but when.
Don't find yourself saying,
I'll trust water bottles and a flashlight to save the day, but I'll be proved wrong.
With a tornado approaching, I'll realize that I lack a wheelchair-accessible shelter.
When the floodwaters rise, I'll be up in the attic with